Dr. Ben Amberg up against Isaac Abbas to open proceedings in round 8. Abbas got high, but Amberg got his hand on it first. At ground level, Abbas works hard. Suter was in there. Hit over the football was McMahon. Squeezes a handball out to Forrest early. They go inside forward 50. Low presses a 1. Knocked off it by Hearn. Now Anderson comes in. A quick kick off the ground there by, it was the Serio, close to the boundary line. On the boundary, Marsh has it with a check side, doesn't get it to come back, and it goes over for a minor score.
You're probably going to take the words out of your mouth, Scars, because Tom Wilson started on this near side wing, went round, set up behind the ball because the centre bounce was taken from the far centre circle. They left Tate Marsh by himself on the near side wing, and if Troy Forrest had a quick look to the side there, he would have hit Tate Marsh 50 metres in the clear. As a result, Tate Marsh just misses with a check side pass.
Suter to bring it back in for the Tigers, kicks it long to the deck side, looking for Brown, who couldn't mark. Amberg taps it down. Brown was there for the Tigers. Little toe poke off the ground from Hector. Tatterson is close. It goes close to the boundary, and it goes over for a boundary throw in. Scuzz train early.
Yeah, you did steal my thunder there a little bit there, Makey, but yeah. Just having a look here at the setups. Traralgon don't have anyone behind the footy. Manon Johnson just standing there on his own at the minute.
Abbas works Amberg under the ball. Ball hits the ground at ground level. Grinstead Jones can't get a clean handball out. Ends up with Forrest, who's tackled straight away. And we'll have another ball up. 45 metres out from Traralgon's goal. 45-degree angle.
Springer, you expected it pretty tough early.
Yeah,
what's it like?
It's pretty hot down here, isn't it? That ruckman for Morwell goes pretty hard at it, doesn't he?
He certainly does. McMahon got tackled and he threw the football, and the Gritty Pig will take the free kick off half-back for the Tigers. Handballs across now to the run from Wilson. He goes inboard looking for Britton. It's been downfield as...
I didn't see any remonstration there behind play as Wilson got the kick. Would have possibly been a
Britton was on his own then. I'm not
mouthing
sure.
Off.
Yeah.
Could have been. Britton won the free kick anyway downfield. Goes inside forward 50 to Johnson, who takes it on his chest in front of his opponent, Dean Pearce.
What I've heard about Maul last week, they've changed their forward line structure a little bit, and it's just shown exactly what I got told last week. They're pushing up the ground that little bit more. They've got these little quick forwards, and they just break. As soon as they win the footy at half-back, they just split them all, and their little blokes got on the end of it.
The key to that being successful, and have done that really well in this first foray forward, is hitting targets.
Yeah.
So Manon Johnson at the 2.5-minute mark of this first quarter. Round 8 action coming to you from Traralgon. Johnson for the Tigers. Kicks it high up in the air. Has it got the distance? No, it hasn't. Touched on the line by the doctor. And on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, the best price, and best price is guaranteed.
One behind, 1 point each. And we are coming up to the 3-minute mark of the first quarter.
So kick inboard from Traralgon, marked and playing on quickly as Collison wheels around, but Brown gets back, falls to Jacobson of Traralgon, goes inside the corridor because he had nothing up forward, did that really well, finds Hector for Traralgon, centre half back for the Maroons, gets called to play on, goes short Amberg, but it just beats him over the top, and Jack Brown takes a nice defending mark. He plays on quickly outside, but again his kick is marked by his Traralgon opponent there in Darren White, and they get an opportunity to slow play up. He's going to go long down the line looking for North. North works Tatterson under the ball, comes to ground level, chain of hand passes over the top, ends up with Grinstead Jones. No, it's Manon Johnson, feeds the ball backwards to his teammate there in Salerno. Salerno goes long down the line, one-hander mark by Hillier. Is that Hillier out there? Jacobson. Sorry. Jacobson on the far wing. Nice work. Disciplined, just slow play because he's got nothing up forward. Checks his kick, nice, and finds Musel just inside the corridor. 70 metres out, goes inside to Suter. Devon Suter got Abbas by himself in the corridor. 70 metres out, has to go back over the mark. Going to go long to the corridor, to the hot spot. Players set themselves. Hillier over the back. Second grab comes to Jackson Hall. At ground level for the Maroons, they're under a lot of pressure from their Maul opponents. And the umpire says, I will ball that up. 20 metres out from Maul's goal in this first quarter.
Scores level at the 4-minute mark. Over the back, Hillier from the stoppage. Comes backwards looking for a teammate on 50. No one can mark it. Oh, great work by Matt North. He initiated the contact and then ran away with it, but his kick was a poor one. And Ryan Hearn picked it off on true centre wing for the Tigers. He's got Salerno on the far side. Goes to him now. Salerno looked to come back inboard, then decided to go down the line because Suter had a paddock. He took it 60 metres out, now kicks inside 50, and he hits up Rob Michaelides.
Very measured so far, aren't they, the Tigers? Hitting their targets, looking just to maintain possession.
Still 1 point apiece here early on. Crowd building nicely here. Plays on quickly. It was a kick, it was, back to the coach in Suda. He's probably a little bit too far out to score. Here's Joel. Looking for an option. It's pretty stagnant at the moment. Now one presents through Hilly. He's going to have to fly the back. One hand. Can't mark. Ground level does well. Oh, it's a little shuffle out. Oh, right in the goal line. It was nearly a throw. Lands in the hands now of Hector. Hard up along the boundary line and found Tim North. Sweeps a handball inboard now to Stockdale. That's Lee. Goes backwards to Burge. He coughs it up. Stockdale has to go again. Burge hit over the football. Good one. North sidestepping. They're under pressure. Comes backward. Good little tackle from behind from Metamucil. They work hard. Collison now flicks one backwards to Burge. He's looking for a stoppage. He tunnel balls it though. The Tigers did well. Comes to the big Isaac Abbas. Kicks it high to the forward line. Back there was Michaelides. At the ground level, McDonald. Can't get it. Good work. Head over it was McMahon. Helping him out was Jensch. Now the coach Collison. Through handballs, they get it out of the defensive 50, and Matt North will clear it out wide towards Lopez.
Matt North was dumped as he got rid of the ball. It's going to go slightly downfield but out wide, and Lapraz is going to be the recipient of the slight downfield free kick. Gives Maul enough time to get some numbers back behind play. Lopez goes in short, finds Matt North. No one on him, goes inside the corridor to Stockdale. He's got Burns out wide but doesn't use him. Right in the centre circle here at Traralgon Showgrounds. He's going to go wide inside forward 50. Working back as Jacobson for Maul. At ground level, Collison snaps it over the corner of his shoulder. Comes to Sandy. Can't quite keep it in. No, just dribbles out for a boundary throw in 10 metres around from Traralgon's goal.
Yeah, there's some really good pressure there from all up in their forward 50, causing Traralgon to give their handballs. They're good with their hands, Traralgon, to get out of it. And then as soon as they got the footy there, they went quickly forward. That's one thing that Moore's going to have to keep an eye on today. They've got beautiful skills.
Boundary throw in. Abbas in the front spot. No one really went up for him, so he just hooked it over his shoulder. Went to Noy, now to Suda, who got it back from Anderson. And Noy runs through the middle, has one bounce with pace. They working back and streaming back is Stockdale. He allows it to bounce. Now he gathers it, runs away, delivers out wide to where Tim North can gather it on the hop. Picks it up. Duncan closes. North just stands off him, delivers down the line, looking for Lopez and Abbas. Big Isaac comes in, and Lopez nearly took out the Maul runner, gave him a kiss on the forehead and said, I'm going back into the field of play.
I really like the way Maul have transitioned from attack to defence. As Noy was coming through the middle there, they really worked back once they turned the ball over, and Abbas gets the ball out, comes to North. North goes forward to Forrest. Forrest under a bit of pressure. Scrappy kick forward and dropping back off his opponent nicely is Jack Brown. He switches a play nicely. Finds Zach Anderson. Can he get the sit? Jacobson putting some pressure on. Doesn't sit up for him. Jacobson right on his hammer. Gets a handball over the top to Wilson. Wilson doesn't kick. Goes inside the corridor now to Salerno. I will get him because he's hard to miss. He plays on quickly outside to Zach Anderson, who's worked nicely off the half-back flank, but just misses him, dribbles out in front of him for a boundary throw-in on half-forward flank for the Tigers. Just they didn't quite hit their targets going forward there. They could have been out.
Yeah, quick around the grounds check. Thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. Gippsland scores in the AFL. The Suns lead it by 20 points over the Hawks. It's 5-5-35 to 2-3-15.
Comes over the back to Stockdale from the boundary throw-in, but his kick misses a target and is going to dribble out for a boundary throw-in, this time on Traralgon's half-forward flank.
So either Jack Brown's loose at the minute or he's just peeling off his opponent. He's taken 2 or 3 marks already in that back 50. He plays that role really well, so that's one thing that Traralgon's going to have to keep an eye on.
Looks like Traralgon's got their spare. It looks to be Jackson McMahon about 10 metres off this stoppage. Yeah. Also Hayden Hector coming on from the boundary throw, from the interchange as well. So we'll just see how they set up as he makes his way across to the other side of the ground, where we have another boundary throw-in. Very similar position from where the last one was.
Comes back into play. Amberg got over the shoulder of Abbas, and he'll take the free kick. What's it like at ground level, Springer, thanks to the all-new Suzuki Swift?
Yeah, it's still pretty hot down there, isn't it? It's really getting play between the two forward 50s, really. If either side could actually hit a target, they'd be both out, if that makes sense.
Certainly does, sort of, coming through your mouth, Brad. As Hillier has it on the wing, goes towards the half-forward. Musil flies at the back, but coming in was Cameron. Gave a handball off to his coach in Collison. Got it out towards Hector, the quick run. Matt North, half-back line, has one bounce. Gets to wing, chips it towards half-forward. Brown goes back, but good work by Sandy to take the mark. He's a long way out, 2 kicks out from scoring. Sandy decides to come inboard, just found Tim North. Play on to the umpire. Kennedy, the first gamer for the Tiger, puts the tackle on. We're going to ball up, true centre wing.
Scud, that's where Scuzz was saying earlier on, where Jay Nagel is very good to penetrate inside 50 there, whereas Sandy elected to go inside the corridor.
Didn't help that he tripped over as he went to kick, did it?
Lots of numbers all around this ball from the stoppage. Tim North, good one there. Quick handball from Hildebrand, was too hot for Marsh. Has to work hard again. Hillier trying to throw his 64-kilo weight around. And another stoppage. Paul Carter, key stats early.
Big quarter already from Mark Collison, 6 disposals.
Isaac Abbas against Amberg. We'll give it to Amberg. Here's Rosado the first time. Good work by North again to flick a handball out to Forrest. Gave it back to Collison. Kick misses Burge. Numbers back there for the Tigers. Anderson was one. Kennedy had a fresh air. He got dumped. The play comes to Hildebrand. He kicks a barrel inside forward 50. It bounces between 2 Tigers. Brown has it. Left foot. Clears a little bit of pressure. Burge can't mark. Caused the turnover. Handballs to Lopez. Gives it to North. This is a Tim variety. Left foot goal. First one for this afternoon. Round 8 action goes to Timmy North.
He started well, hasn't he, Timmy North?
Have we got his stats, Paul?
That's 6 disposals to him, 3 kicks, 3 handballs now.
Plus a goal.
And the forward 50 pressure there from Traralgon that went in. It was a pretty scrappy kick inboard. It was just a mongrel sort of torp kick in there, but it put pressure on them, that Maul defence. Jack Brown had to rush and put it on the boot. It was a pretty good effort there from Burgee, just to create a spoil for Tim North, who ran onto it and finished really well from the pocket.
It's taken 11 minutes in the first quarter for the first goal to be put on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, and that's gone to Traralgon, who lead by 6 points. 1-1-7 to Maul, 1 behind 1 point.
Again, boys, Maul have elected to keep this wing free on the near side. James Jacobson has gone behind the ball, and it's left that dangerous man in Tim North out on the wing. So if Traralgon can switch onto that and get a switch out to this wing, they can be going inside 50 easily, but it's going to be Rosado. Very good over the ball. Handballs to Michaelides. Goes inside 50, but misses his target. Coming out is McDonald. Looks to be, yes, goes inside the corridor, but cutting it off nicely. Looks to be Pearce. Pearce going to go backwards to his defending goal square. Finds Matt North. He goes further wide. And Tate Marsh has found himself on the opposite wing now, working deep inside his defensive 50. Chips the ball over the top, and a great strong mark there by Hector. Held up though, so they're just finding their way forward are the Maroons. Goes wide to this near side wing in North. Tim North takes a strong mark, but again he's held up. But they are maintaining possession.
They do this well, don't they, the Maroons, with a switch. Matt North has it, defensive 50. Jacobson nearly picked it off. DeSeria has to work hard on the second one. Gave it to Yench. He just handballs to no one. It ends up in Brown's hands. He quickly kicks it inside 50. It's 3-on-1 for the Tigers. He needs help, does Britton. We know he's got pace. He couldn't take on Pearce. He does well, does Pearce, at ground level. Wins the footy himself. Handballs to Matt North. Goes inboard to Hector. Gives it across back now to Matt North. Right on his defensive 50 he comes towards this big coach's box side. Amberg couldn't quite mark as Brown thumps it over, and we're going to boundary throw in. 13 minutes in, and it's Traralgon 1-1-7. The Tigers 1 behind.
They've been doing that same game style that they've played every time we've seen them, Traralgon. If Malden just need to stick to their guns, they're cutting their entries off really well at the minute.
Bad throw in, ended up with Hildebrand. Hector now flicks one back out to that man who's on fire for the Sale Greyhounds in Tim North. His kick spotted up Lopez. Right on the centre wing here as Lopez thumps his right foot into it. It's 1-on-1. Now Salerno comes in to help. Puts one hand up. Doesn't quite mark. Collison there grabbed when he didn't have the football, and the umpire said, I agree. And he'll go back 48 metres out. We'll have a shot on goal.
Interesting that Abbas went to centre-half back as a resting ruckman, which you don't see too often in this day and age. He's coming off for a rest now, so that's left him one tall short, and if that makes any sense.
Collison, sorry boys.
Coming from you it does, mate.
Collison just kicked it over the top. It was poor manning up from the Tigers, and it landed in the hands of Michael Jacobson.
Sorry, Spider Burton.
As Michael Jacobson is on a reasonably tightish angle, but he's only 30 metres out from goal. Looking for the second of the afternoon. Tim North got the first for the Maroons. He goes short and play on, not 15. Puts Forrest under pressure. That should be holding the ball. He called it play on. Has to go again, does Jacobson. Salerno does well, tries to crash us through. Gets a handball in the end of it is Anderson. Right foot kicks, a beautiful one. Found up McDonald. Britton's on if he can get the footy to him. He kicks it high out in the front of Britton, and it goes towards the line. Britton waits for it to bounce. Now he gathers inside the line, takes on. Right foot delivery of the kick. Goes to Johnson, who drops it the last time. Michaelides has it, twisting around. Flying shot from 40. Michaelides doesn't like it. He does now, and it's come back from right to left. How about the Tigers get up and about? Because that one's gone through. Rob Michaelides gets the first for the Tigers.
That all started from Tristan Salerno down in the back half there. He put his hand up and he just kept the footy in front of him. He kept paddling the footy on, ended up getting possession, and then they were out. The pace of Britton's really troubling Traralgon at the minute. He's lightning quick, and even a lot of guys that are quick can't kick that well when they're going flat out. He's hit up a beautiful hit to Manon Johnston, who ended up getting it to Michaelides.
15 minutes into the first quarter, and on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, the teams are locked together at 1-1-7.
Great first quarter, Troy.
Oh, it's been fantastic. Maul finally getting some reward for effort as the ball's back in the middle. Musil in the ruck for the Tigers. Loses out to Amberg this time. Goes forward for Maroons, but winning back there is Will Kennedy. Under pressure as I nearly make a meal of my clipboard up here in the commentary box. Nothing much happening, luckily for me, as I don't miss anything too spectacular. The ball goes forward. Kennedy getting back there nicely. Gets called to play on not 15, says the umpire. Under pressure. Half forward flank for the Maroons. And the umpire says that was too aggressive and was a bit in the back.
Since when is too aggressive a free kick, Troy?
No, too aggressive with the tackle where he fell into his back.
Fair enough. And we've got
clarify.
50. That might be too aggressive as well. As the Kane Grinstein Jones gave away 50. He's arguing his a point, but the umpire says, I don't care, I'm going to backpedal inside 50 and let Traralgon have a shot on goal, which will be Dylan Lopez.
You don't argue with the umpire when he's given 50, do you, Scud?
No.
They normally go about 65 when you do that.
Yep. So scores are locked, 1-1-7 apiece as Lopez decides to give this one off, and it's Paul Markey in from the Tigers as Hayden Hector is now directly in front. 30 metres out. Well, that's a couple of times we've seen that from the Tiger defence.
Yeah, it's disappointing because they're doing a lot of things right most of the time, but there's 2 or 3 times now they've just been a bit slack in their defensive 50, and they've given up a couple of easy shots on goal. We'll just see Jensch has come off favouring his right arm or right shoulder, so we'll just keep an eye on that.
Keep you updated.
Hector directly in front, should not miss. He doesn't. He likes the celebration too, does Hayden, and he goes back. He's looking for someone for the double high five, and he gets his first goal.
Can't be any worse than the high five I saw on social media the other day on, was that the politics over in Britain?
the Labor representative.
He's gone in for a high five and she's put the hand in.
Well, 17 minutes have gone. The Tigers have got 2. The Maroons have got 2.
And on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, it's a 6-point lead to Traralgon, 2-1-13 to Morwell, 1-1-7.
Football now back in the middle.
We'll just get down to ground level for Springer, with Springer, sorry.
Yeah, Jensch's just getting his shoulder checked, boys. He copped a knock there, but I'll keep you updated as I know more.
Hector wins the clearance, kicked it out wide towards North. He can gather it with one hand beautifully. Got ran down from behind, and he had the opportunity, so that's holding the footy. And it goes to Jacobson from the Tigers, as that is James. Kicks it down the line, high, looking for the target in Metamucil. Can't quite mark. Good spoil. Ground level. Hillier crashes in. Couldn't win the football. Stockdale's back there with Chunky Duncan. And over it goes for a boundary throw in.
Just getting back to the 2 goals that Traralgon have kicked from them short passes inboard, I've had a look at Morwell's bench, and both times 2 defenders have been running off the ground in their rotations. So I'm not sure if that's a great time to be doing your back rotations when you've got a guy lining up 30 out.
No.
Well picked up, Scuzz. As the ball's on the half-forward flank for the Tigers. Work there out for Hillier, but his kick is smothered. Collison gets a rush kick forward onto the wing here, and Jack Brown working off his opponent nicely. Could have been given 50 metres as he goes to ground, maybe a bit too easy there.
Gee, Brown's been good, hasn't he, early across half-back?
Very disciplined. He comes inboard to Hearn. Hearn plays on quickly, goes to the half-forward flank for McDonald, gets his arms chopped. The umpire says play on. Duncan over the top, snaps it around the corner, one on two there for the Tigers. Hillier at ground level, Stockdale equal to the task, feeds the ball back to Amberg, and they should work their way outside defensive 50 to the Maroons.
Yeah, land in the hands of Hector. Good kick out towards Lopez. Now he's got this big job to do this afternoon, leading up towards his defensive 50. That's because Nagel's out. His kick's a poor one, end on end. Good work there by Grinstein Jones. Right foot inside 50 is usually a good one. And he found Brandon McDonald. And right on the boundary line on a tightish angle, only 40 metres out, Here's Brandon McDonald.
Tough pocket this in that Scud.
It certainly is. He kicks 6. He's got his under-18 supporters behind him down there in the pocket, though. You'll hear them if he goes up, and if he misses, you'll hear the Traralgon supporters behind the goal go up as well. Who will it be? McDonald has a shot. He's kept it skinny, and they're the Traralgon supporters cheering that one as it goes out of bounds on the full.
So taking the free kick for Traralgon will be Jackson Hall. Comes inboard. They like to go inside the corridor in their back half. Plays on quickly to Stockdale. Stockdale goes wide. Lopez again finding himself high into his back half for the Maroons. Takes a mark. Wheels around. Plays out down the line. Trying to work his man under the ball was Sandy, but pushing in the back there, and the recipient will be Taylor Weatherall. So Maul in these parts have gone short in general and normally inside the corridor. He does a half sort of 40-metre kick, but dropping off man nicely was Cameron. Cameron plays on quickly to North. Oh, that's a terrible kick, but it might come off as Stockdale just gets away. Handballs to Tate Marsh, takes on Suter. Suter says, "You're not getting past me." Gets a handball out, though, fortunately. Goes in the corridor. Collison gets taken out of the marking contest. Play on, says the umpire. Stockdale. Duncan works back for Maul, creating a stoppage. But then Stockdale, equal to the task, follows up. Gets a quick kick forward. Not 10, says the umpire. Michael Eady's at ground level for Morwell. Comes out to Hearn. Hearn to Grinstead Jones. Snaps it over his body. But it's 3-on-1 there for Traralgon. Jackson Hall leading the runners back there. And he's going to mop up for the Maroons.
Hall kicks it out wide to the run there of Hector. Gathers it. Sweeping handball over the top to Lopez. Gives one back now to Jacobson. Just got pushed off it by Jones. As he goes the man, and not the football does Jones. And he wins himself a free kick. Well, he ran past the ball then, and Birch had no other option but to take the contact, but just grabbed him.
He did. Have we got Lepreza's stats today? No, we don't. I reckon he would have taken about 4 or 5 marks just leading up at the footy. He's a really good link man for Traralgon.
Jones went backwards to Brown. Brown kicks it out towards his defensive 50 for the little man in Suter. Big spoil over the top. Turnover, Burge. Gave it across to North. This time it's Matt. Flying shot at goal. Offline. Minor score. 21 and a half minutes gone in the first quarter here at Traralgon. And it's the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard.
Sees Traralgon 2-2-14, leading by 7 points over Maul, who are 1-1-7.
Of course, you can test drive the all-new Suzuki Swift now at Gippsland Suzuki Morwell. Brad Thomas at ground level.
There's a lot going on the benches here, boys. There's a lot of blokes going in to get either rubs or just getting some work done. Yates has just come back out to the bench. He's got his shoulder strap to be back on in a minute. Ruckman from Morwell, big Isaac Abbas, is still on the ground. He's been off the ground for about 10 minutes or so. So I'm trying to find out what's going on there as well, boys.
As the ball gets transferred towards the wing, and Brandon McDonald took 15 minutes to pick that one up. Couldn't do so in the end. And it goes over for a boundary throw in. The margin is 7 points in favour of the Maroons. We've got a boundary throw in, true centre wing. Abbas now back on the field, but Amberg double-fisted it towards North. He's at a super quarter for the Sale Greyhounds. To Forrest, back to North. This is Tim, sweeping one to Matt. Matt now right foot kick inside towards Sandy, right on his 50. Will turn around. There's no one in the goal square. He just has to wait. He tries the long bon over the back. It's Jacobson direction. 1-on-1 with Suter. Suter holds. Doesn't get the free kick against him. He's up to the task is Devon. Little chip over the top, looking for Kennedy, or it was out there Wilson. No one could really get it. The Maroons come in. They got numbers. Can they win this from the stoppage? They do. Matt North lowers the eyes, finds a target in Forrest inside 50 again.
Well, missing targets has proved costly a couple of times as they come out the defensive 50 for the Tigers. There's going to be Troy Forrest lining up for goal, 45 metres out, almost directly in front.
That was Matt North's 11th kick for the quarter, plus 2 handballs.
And what about Tim North there? We had those together.
Tim North's on 5 and 5, 10 disposals.
Well, those two might have a dinner date at the Sale Greyhounds. As Forrest comes in, it hasn't got the distance. Hearn, big spoil, goes towards the pocket. It's 1-on-2. Noy's got the pace. He kicks it off the ground. He's going to go again. Here comes Tim North. Guess what? Here's another touch. No, I won't give it to him. It goes over before he can gather in front of the deck on a beautiful Saturday afternoon.
Just on the last ball throw-in from all, they had about 2-on-6 down here in front of us. I want them to make sure that they're man-on-man here. Don't let Traralgon get out of this too easily.
So
Hildebrand's left by himself as he's sneaking his way forward, but a good tackle. No, too high, says the umpire.
And it goes to Matt North again.
So this will be possession number 12 for Matt North in his first quarter. just ticked over 24-minute mark. 7-point lead to Traralgon.
It's too far out to score, you'd think, boys. He has to give it off. He kicks it to the hot spot. Looking for a target. Kennedy causes a contest. Coming in was Rosado. Tackled Forrest when he didn't have the football, and that's 2 free kicks he's given away in a matter of 2 minutes.
Forrest handballs the ball quickly off to Jackson McMahon. Hillier equal to that, and he's going to create a turnover. Rosado has to get a quick kick going forward. Junkie Duncan works under the ball and gets a free kick as Yench was just tried to put too much pressure on and held on to the jumper there for Junkie Duncan. So 24.5 minutes have gone, and it looks like Moore going to elect just to hold it up. He goes wide to his coach in Joel Suter. Joel Suter calling for someone to come at him. McDonald does that and hits the target nicely. McDonald takes a nice mark out in front. Siren has gone.
You can't play on. He got a barrel. And it's not going to count anyway.
As McDonald tried to play on from that mark, but the siren had gone, and it is now quarter time here at Traralgon Showgrounds.
The Traralgon lead by thanks to the Carpet Country scoreboard this afternoon.
Scud, as the siren goes for the start of second quarter, Leongatha 3-3-21, leading Warrigal 1-3-9.
Fake news, back in the middle as Amberg got up, big tap out. Forrest tried to win it. Tatterson, his first touch of the afternoon. Handballs across to Hillier. Sweeps one around to Isaac Abbas, the old 1-2. Back to Tatterson. Out wide they go. This time Jacobson. Left foot kick delivery inside 50. And that's better from the Tigers. McDonald takes a chest mark on a slight angle, 48 metres out from goal.
Well, it's amazing when you hit targets, boys. You can get the ball moving forward nicely. And Brandon McDonald on the end of a nice kick from James Jacobson. Line out for goal, 45-degree angle. 45 metres out. Umpire calls play on as he comes inside to get some more distance. Flies from the back, Michaelides, but it goes through his hands and through for a minor score. First minute of the second quarter.
Scuds, is that what you've noticed early on? Is it the skill work from the Tigers that are letting them down at the moment?
I think they've had as much of the footy as Traralgon, but that's exactly it. The skill level coming into their forward 50. It's exactly what Springer said with Colo. It's playing between the arcs at the minute just because of the skill level.
Jackson Hall got it in, and they got it to true centre wing, and this is a great little match-up out on that far wing. It is Jacobson on Jacobson. And we're talking about backyard footy. I reckon we could see a backyard stoush between those two because their surnames are Jacobsons. Isaac Abbas from the ruck gave it across to Suter. A good little tap. This time it is Jacobson from the Tigers. That's James. There is a dust-up. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of those boys, but it's a coach in Collison. We'll get a free kick. No, it's been called out of bounds. So we're going to ball up. Boundary throw in. 2 minutes into this second quarter, it'll be Abbas up against Amberg. It was a short throw in. Abbas got the run at it. Then he got his follow-up with a kick. Goes down the line and doesn't quite keep it in the field of play. Goes out of bounds on the full.
Coming inside the corridor is Jackson Hall. Lee Stockdale, who started on the near side wing. That is a floater. Ends up in his defensive 50. Pearce, luckily for Traralgon, able to gather the ball. Handballs to Hall. Hall goes out wide to Collison. Goes over his head. Comes to Maul opponent. Ends up, doesn't end up with Michaelides. Lee Stockdale cuts it off. Michael Jacobson gets a hurried kick forward. Comes to Forrest. Forrest goes inside the corridor to Sirio. Can't get his hands on the ball. Working back nicely is Jack Brown for Maul. He's been in everything. Abbas at ground level. Great work from the big fella. Just misses his teammate there with the hands. But he's got numbers around the ball to the Tigers. Hurried handball forward. He's going to go out of bounds for a boundary throw. So a lot happening, but not much progress there for the Tigers as it goes out for a boundary throw in 70 metres around from Maul's goal.
Scars, the Maroons in that first quarter, was it the patience? Was it cutting the lines, coming back in board the important part?
Yeah, they probably didn't do it as much as what we've seen in the previous games. They do try and hit that one back inside. They definitely do not kick long down the line. That's one thing they don't do. They'd rather just hit up that guy leading up at the footy. Most of the time it's Leprez, but we see it again here. They've just tried to hit a short one and turn the footy over.
So Abbas was out there, but good work by Burge. His kick goes directly towards the boundary line and just goes in the field of play. Boys, was that deliberate? It landed in and bounced over.
Mate. Be pretty stiff, I reckon, if they gave that one.
Bit stiff, righto.
You don't see it as much, obviously, in the local leagues. Scud, as what you do on the TV.
Amberg, big thump forward. Running onto this one is Jacobson, 55. The tumble punt inside. Jack Brown again.
He's dominating across there, isn't he?
He certainly is, and he's taken another uncontested mark pretty much as Brown Relieves the pressure, kicks it out wide, looking for a Bass. Good body work. Couldn't quite mark it though. Coming the other way was Hillier. Slick hands to Jacobson. He tried the look away handball. It's no good. It was a turnover, but then Amberg gave it back to Suter for the Tigers. Grinstein Jones now has it in the middle. They are out. Goes to Johnson. He gathers it, turns. On the lead now comes Britton. He's got the pace. Working hard, leaps early. Got his hands pulled off it. Good tack there was Burns. Goes back, kick off the ground by Britton. Coming out to meet it. Pearce is there. He relieves, kicks pressure out wide. This is Stockdale. Goes short again. Jacobson, one hand, marks in front of his brother. Checks his kick, comes back inboard to Matt North.
There's a bit of that circle work that Springer was talking about at quarter time, as Traralgon end up going wide again to the wing. And
Just one quick point there, boys. I've noticed Matt North started on the bench that quarter. Did anyone else notice that? He'd come on about a minute ago.
He'd be tired. He had plenty of touches. They decide to switch this one again, the Maroons.
The patience again, isn't it, with
It is. Yench goes inboard to Jackson Hall. Jackson Hall waits for someone to present the short kick again. It's on. They are very good kicks of the football. Hector goes out wide. Now they can run. It's Matt North. Doesn't matter if you start on the bench. You continue to run. Right foot kicks to the top of the 50. Beautiful. Found Burge, who swings around quickly looking for a one-on-one. But guess what? Jack Brown again picks it off for the Tigers. And if he wasn't out there, they'd be 10 goals behind at the moment, the Tigers. As Brown's kick looking for a Bass. He has to turn and run. He can gather. Loops one over the top. Nearly put Grinstein Jones in the hospital. Musil comes in. Handballs to Hillier. Gets through a bit of traffic. Gives it back to Musil. Takes on the tackler. Kicks inside 50. Michaelides one out. Good work there by Burns, who plays on and gets it out wide to Stockdale of Michael type.
Stockdale comes back inside the corridor, finds Jackson Hall. A little bit going on in the middle as Jackson Hall half-back flank for the Maroons. Again, being patient, handballs around the back to Michael Stockdale, goes wide to Matt North. That'd be a 16 or 17, Paul?
17.
17 for
That's amazing numbers,
for
isn't
1
it?
quarter and 5 minutes. DeCirio finds himself up the ground, but again, Jack Brown.
He's probably had about as
10
many.
marks. He's had 10 marks.
So we'll see a bit of circle work action going as Brown goes back to his defensive 50, finds Kennedy. Kennedy's going to go wide. It's got to be on. He might even kick it out of bounds on the full. No, it's going to dribble out for a boundary throw in the opposite pocket, only 20 metres around from their defensive 50, defensive goal.
Yeah, that was a poor kick, that one. Just missed the target the first game, though, but he's got a big job this afternoon, so we've got a boundary thrown in a dangerous spot for the Tigers. Abbas just double-fisted towards his defensive 50. Couldn't quite run onto it. Was Tatterson cleanly. He got tackled quickly, and the umpire says, let's ball this one up. We're just starting to get a little bit of niggle in this game. It's a great crowd on a Saturday afternoon here at the Traralgon Showgrounds. No North Gippsland, no Mid Gippsland footy, and this is one of the best rivalries, as we said, going around. It's a great game at the moment. They lead it by 6 points. There's a big barrel out of defensive 50. Goes down the line. Running back there was White. Duncan was there. Taps it on. He's got a couple to beat. McDonald's just kicks it off the ground. Has he put too much onto it? Gets to the goal line going. Hits the post, and a good result in the end. And it goes over for a boundary throw in right up against the behind post inside the attacking 50 for the Tigers, where they trail by 6 points.
It'd be interesting to see what happens out of this. It's Makey's Bright and Springer. There's been circle work since this quarter started. We've gone 7 minutes now, and it's just gone round and round. Someone needs to score to break the game up here.
In front spot, tapped down by Pearce. McMahon's there. Gets a handball to Lee Stockdale. Gives it back now to the run. This time it's Burns. Twisting and turning away from Rosado. His kick around the body was a bit of a up and ender kick. Now tail lands in the hands of James Jacobson. His kick goes wobbly inside 50 with another boundary throw in. As a bit of a stalemate in this second quarter. No goal scored. We're 8 minutes in. Only just the one minor score. It was going to the Tigers. They trail it by 6 points at the moment. Football back into play. Musil taps it over the back. Hillier one hand. Couldn't get it. Comes back out to Pearce. His quick kick relieves a little bit of pressure for now. Sandy fell to ground. Now it's Wetherill. Can gather it. His kick's a wobbly one. Abbas has got a tough one. He's up to it. Abbas takes on Lopez. Little left-right step. Gave it to Hearn. The big men shouldn't kick.
That's why
They're waxing, but they shouldn't kick. You're dead right. As McMahon goes backwards to Matt North.
Matt North again racking up possession number 18 and to his brother Tim North. No whistle, and the umpire says play on.
Wasn't 15, boys.
Yeah, didn't really call it though, the umpires. Jackson McMahon is under pressure from James Jacobson, who takes both him and the ball out for a boundary throw-in. Didn't hear a whistle, and I didn't see a play-on call, so all players stopped except the Morwell players who put the pressure on.
Noise free over the back of this contest if it gets there. Doesn't. Comes back inboard towards the boundary from McMahon to Collison, back to Pearce. Pearce has kicked to centre half forward. Sandy's the target, can't mark. He ran underneath it. Over the back, Burge read it nicely. Sweeps the handball out wide. It was picked off by Hillier. Handballs to himself. He's got a bit of pace. Forrest closes quickly. Good work by Hillier to keep his feet in traffic. Beautifully done. Gave it across to Noy now. They go to centre half forward. Over the top of Michaelides' head.
Pearce.
And Pearce took the mark. Handball to Collison. They get it out to the wing. Now it's the Maroons' turn to run and create. Through Stockdale. Back inboard. Found Hector at his knees. He gets it on quickly out wide. This time it's out to Michael Jacobson. Runs to the 50. Short kick over the top. Lopez marks. We'll go back and have a shot.
That's much better play, I think, from Traralgon that time. At least they got it out the other side, and then they hit that dangerous kick in board. We haven't seen a lot of it today, that kick back in board where they get their runners behind and get the footy forward really quick, which they did in that occasion.
Really shouldn't have had the opportunity though, Scuzz, because missed opportunity there for Morwell coming through the corridor. Had two players to hit and he missed them both, and Dean Pearce has taken a nice defensive mark. The end result is Dylan Lopez having a shot tied on the boundary. 30 metres out, distance won't be a problem. Ball's on the boot, but it's going to favour the near side and go through for a minor score as the...
That'd be the Morwell.
The under-18s for the Morwell variety. Let us know what they thought of that one as it goes through for a minor score.
And on the Carpet Country scoreboard, takes Traralgon to 2-3-15. 7-point leaders over Morwell, who are 1-2-8.
As now the Maroon supporters give it to Anderson as he kicks out a full back, trying to put him off. Jack Brown can't mark. He is spoilt by Abbas. Ground level work was great by Abbas. Will Kennedy just tapped it, didn't take possession. Burge squeezes a handball out the back to the quarterback in Hildebrand. Kick around the body, back to Burge. 2 bites at it. Play on, said the umpire. And I think the umpire...
A couple of times, isn't it?
That's a few times now.
Whistle.
Swallowed the whistle or swallowed his tape measure.
Tim North just gave him an absolute bake as well. And the end result is a ball up on their 50 for the Maroons. Good work by Michaelides in close. Kennedy just flicked the handball across, picked off by Tim North. Michaelides again in traffic. This time we'll kick it out wide to where Anderson has it on his half-back flank. He can get it on to Grinstein Jones. He's got a Paddock on the wing. Takes the mark. Chunkin and Johnson lead for him. Chunky Johnson. They missed both of them. It goes out wide now to Cameron of the Maroons. He repels this forward thrust. Gets it to the wing. Favours Tigers' numbers out there. And the umpire says, holding the ball.
Dylan Lopez did everything possible to hold that ball up.
2-on-1.
To the extent where the umpires paid the free kick against him. And he's going to be holding the ball.
Go towards that Chunkin fella again.
He's got it. Is that just a Springer down there? Is that Jack Brown's first rest, mate?
Yeah, it is Jack Brown's first rest. He's dominated, hasn't he, across half-back?
He is absolutely stuffed as well.
And that upset me saying that too to Jack Brown. I think he heard me.
Don't get too close, mate.
Rosado from the stoppage. Quick kick side inside 50. Britton flew from the back, but holding his ground there was Matt North. Called play on. Flicked the handball out to Cameron. He got his handball away to McMahon. Squeezes a kick backwards to Pearce.
Go long on
Took the mark. Pearce now kicks it out wide. Looking for Marsh. Coming out to help is DeCirio. Handballs back to Hector. Hector's kick checked inboard. Found Jackson McMahon.
That's the kick that I like to see from Traralgon. That one back in board, the dangerous one. This is where they're really, really dangerous, Traralgon.
McMahon goes to the far wing out wide. Michael Stockdale has to fly. No one can get a hand on it. Tap over the top from Jackson Hall was good. Allows Stockdale to run onto it. The run and draw. He decides to kick it over the top. It's a beautiful kick. Lopez had 3 goes at it. No push in the back. Hearn grabs it. Kicks a little one underground towards Wilson. Gave it to Suter. He squeezes a handball back now to the big Michaelides. To Suter again. That was Devon. Coming the other way is Musil. Back to Suter. That's Devon. Gets a quick kick under pressure out wide, and Wilson is away for the Tigers.
Tom Wilson elects to go back inboard. Back to Devon Suter, and finally they get a bit of a reprieve. On the left, that's a dangerous kick, looking for Musil. Coming across was Hector for Traralgon, turns the ball over. Handball inside the corridor, ends up with Amberg. Amberg launches one forward, but it's all Morwell back there, and it's Zach Anderson for the Tigers. Switches the ball up.
Run.
Isaac Abbas is out.
Run,
and
big boy, run.
He can go. As DeCirio throws the head up Oh, he could have got him to Serio if he had a
Oh, he
clue.
takes on Marsh.
And
kicks a floater.
Chunky Duncan, great work there by Yench. Gets a spoil on
He's
it.
gone 90 metres, though.
And he's still ready to go.
DeCerio was cooked in that chase, wasn't he?
Well, if he hadn't have given up, he would have got him
Exactly
when
right.
Isaac Abbas fumbled the ball.
There's a bit of Buddy Franklin in that one, wasn't there?
There is
Not really.
There is a lesson to be learned from.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a lesson to be learnt though for any kids out there. You never give up on the chase. That perceived
He's
pressure.
done the splits.
As Will Kennedy just lost some footing, he has to go again. Burge
it's
put his
hot in
body
here,
on the
boys.
line. It is hot at ground level, all right, as you expect. The margin at the moment is 7 points. It's a low-scoring affair. 14 minutes, second quarter. Traralgon are 2-3-15. The Tigers are 1-8. And we're going to ball up through centre wing.
But it's still been an exciting game to watch. If one team can start hitting targets a bit more,
Great tap work
as we're
there.
going to get a good clearance here through Britton. He's been in everything as well. Lopez leads to the ball, but it goes through his legs. Ryan Hearn, lovely kick inboard the corridor to Mike Leadys. Plays on quickly. Wilson's got a paddock. He elects to kick. Misses a target, but Manon Johnson, he himself's got a paddock. Pierce is on him.
good
He's
shepherd.
split 50 metres away. Manon Johnson chips a ball over the corridor.
Chunkin.
40 metres out is that man, Chunkin Duncan. And he's going to line up the goal.
Look, you get confused with his nickname and his surname.
Well,
Michael Duncan, Chunky Duncan.
We'll make sure we remind him of that after the game.
Chunkin.
Darryl.
Certainly will. He's a long kick of the football, is Chunkin.
this will be a critical goal for Morwell. If they can get this, as you said, it's a low-scoring game. This will bring the margin back to 1 point if he can put this through and almost square this game up. As Duncan takes the Ben Brown style run up, goes 40 metres back, 60 metres out as we speak, makes his way just across the 50-metre line. Ball on the boot, looks pretty good off the boot. Has it got the legs? It does have the legs. Did it miss?
Yes.
Umpire says all clear. Thank you very much. Chunkin Duncan gets one back for the Tigers, and that reduces the margin back to 1 point.
They're doing it tough for the Tigers, the way they get the footy. They had numbers racked up. It was similar to the Bairnsdale game a couple of weeks ago that we covered. They had numbers out on that outer side, just butchering the footy. Once again, that was probably a bit of a lucky kick in the end. They outnumbered them, but that kick back inboard, to the outer wing, it should be hit that target, and then it would have been a nice easy kick into the forward 50, but it wasn't.
Taken 15 minutes into the second quarter for the first goal of the quarter on the Carpet Country scoreboard. 2-2-14 Morwell, trailing Traralgon by 1 point. Maroons at 2-3-15.
Musil in the ruck against Amberg. Musil got it down. Traralgon pick it off though. Collison works hard at ground level. So does Hillier. Gathers it. Handballs out the front of Jacobson. Jacobson, nice little one-hander. Gave it to Suter. Hillier went with a one-hander, left it behind. Two hands, young boy. Gave it back now. The Maroons pick it off. Lee Stockdale has it. Chain of handballs. Ends up in the hands of Collison. His kick, beautiful. Finds Lopez. Half forward flank for the Maroons. 1 point the margin now. Lopez delivers towards the target out there with Sandy. Marks, plays on quickly, comes back inboard. This is McMahon from 40 metres. Right foot shot on goal for the reply. Amberg with a fly to the football. Takes a mark on the last line and runs around on his right foot and puts a minor score on the board.
That looked like a goal from him, Akey. Do you agree?
No, I think the umpire had a good view of that. It just went to the left side. A bit deceiving here, Scuzz. Yeah. But I think it just curled back before it went past the left-hand goal post for a behind.
Carpet Country scoreboard.
2 point margin in Traralgon's favour. 17-minute mark of the second quarter. Traralgon 2-4-16 leading Morwell 2-2-14.
Quick AFL check for you for Harvey Norman Furniture. It sees the Suns by 15 points. 6-7-43 to 4-4-28. Ben Ainsworth watch. He has 8 touches at the moment.
Anderson brings the ball back in for the Tigers. Hearn claims a mark. The umpire calls play on. 60 metres out from Traralgon's goal. We'll have a ball up as no one can get a clean possession as Amberg comes off for a well-earned rest. Umpire balls the ball up. Musil gets first hands to it. At ground level there was Maroons. Hillier there for Maul, but held off the ball. Looks to be Jackson McMahon for Traralgon. Getting a free kick. 60 metres out from Traralgon's goal. Goes to the top of the... goes wide, and misses everything and goes out of bounds on the full.
He's normally a beautiful kick of the footy, Jackson McMahon.
He is.
You say that's a bit of pressure there that Maul might be generating.
As Wetherill brings it back in, looking for Musil. McDonald flies as well. Could have protected the big ruckman in Musil. Falls to ground now. Oh, strong over the shoulder on Jacobson. Pearce helps him up though. That's nice of him. As Pearce then takes off. As Jacobson has it for the Tigers. This is the James.
Looking board the corridor, he's got Hearn.
Decides to go towards the wing, looking for that man. Junkin over the back. Big fly from Cameron. Couldn't quite mark it. They're related in some way, those two boys, Duncan and Cameron. Now it comes in the hands of Lee Stockdale. Kick goes inboard to Forrest. He plays on quickly. Left foot kick to half forward. Found Burge. He's been lively across half forward. He played on. Gets around Salerno. Burge kicks it to the hot spot. Good spot there over the back was Sandy. Ground level. Sell some candy. Anderson. Great tackle as he tried to crash through and is rewarded for holding the football. And from a defender, that's what you want. But Jackson McMahon, he tried to make the play. Not really an opportunity, but...
it was a bit stiff there, I reckon. Yeah. Play on.
It was a great tackle in the end, though.
I think sometimes umpires get caught up in the moment as well. And there's a really good defensive effort there for the Tigers as the ball misses a target. Jackson McMahon butters up. Handball's inside to North to Hildebrand. Hildebrand chucks on the boot as he's under pressure. Sandy sets himself over the top as Weatherall gets a nice fist on it and goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Deep inside, forward 50 here for the Maroons. It's putting a bit of pressure on.
Paul Carter, a couple of key stats there at the moment. How are those North boys going? Slowed down a little bit.
Matt North's up to 19 for the match and 13 to Tim North. Hayden Hector up to 15.
Well, from the stoppage, this time it's Collison. Gets a handball out wide towards Hector. They're at the top of the 50. Lee Stockdale gets it further out wide. Now we're still outside 50 though. Comes to Marsh. Wilson just corrals. Works the angles nicely and then a beautiful smother. He has to go again. Burge comes out to help Marsh. Marsh goes back in. Now Hillier is there. It's 2-on-2. The umpire said, let's ball this one up. 55 metres around from Traralgon's goal. Margin 2 points. Cracker on a Saturday afternoon at Traralgon.
Where would you rather be, boys?
Up here in the commentary box. Big tackle by Lopez on Metamucil. Head over the football, trying to barge his way through is Collison. He does the dirty work. He does the fancy stuff out wide. He's a great leader of this club for the Maroons. Is Mark Collison. Ball up again. Lopez gets the front spot. Down at ground level was Lee Stockdale. I don't know what that decision was, but it was bowing, I think it was.
It was a Joel Suter head.
It was one of those. Gave it to Tatterson. Just caught one high, did Tatterson, as he gave it back to Devon Suter. Left foot kick goes towards Duncan. Can't mark. Cameron's there. Duncan has to go again. Duncan at ground level now. Tries to flick it out. Don't line it, Chunky. You win all sorts.
No,
you did line the football, and the umpire said, I don't care. That is holding the footy. As Matt North gets the footy from the free kick, plays on, right foot kick, hot spot, Sandy works his player underneath it, can't mark, ground level, shrugs one tackle, handballs across to Lee Stockdale, whacks it on his left foot, the goal.
Stockdale gets it back for Traralgon.
They've looked dangerous for probably a 5-minute patch here, haven't they, Traralgon? It's been stuck in their forward 50 and more, just haven't been able to get it sort of, past their past their halfway mark. They've been bombing the footy in a little bit, Traralgon, which is probably suiting them at the minute. There was a really good contest there from Sandy. Just bring it to ground and the small blokes all cleaned up.
The last 5 inside 50s have been Traralgon's way and 7 of the last 8, so that backing up there. And on the Carpet Country scoreboard, it's an 8-point lead now to Traralgon, 21 minutes into the second quarter. Traralgon 3-4-22, leading Wall 2-2-14.
Big moments this afternoon are brought to you by Monticello's. The Carlton Draft stubbies and cans are a low $46 a case. This game is evenly poised at the moment. The Tigers need to respond as Bigger Bast hit it straight down to Michaelides. Left foot kick goes towards Johnson, who marks. Rosado's on his own, doesn't go that direction, kicks to the hot spot, 1-on-1, working back there is Tatterson, can't mark, lands in the hand of McDonald, there's the reply, inside a minute, on your own in the goal square, McDonald puts it through, that's his first of the afternoon.
Well, game starting to open up a little bit as we see 2 goals inside 30 seconds from the teams, and great work in the middle by Isaac Abbas. There's that man, Rob Michaelides, in there, just so clean in the clinches and gets a nice kick forward.
It just shows you there's some classy players there in Michaelides and Manna Johnston, both with good skills, and all of a sudden you get scoring opportunities.
And on the Carver Country score, we're back to a 2-point lead Traralgon's way, 3-4-22, Morwell 3-2-20.
Looks like this wing now, they're decided to man up this wingman, the Morwell boys, as Tim North was out here, back in the middle again. It was Abbas to Michaelides, gave it back to Noy, who got his kick smothered. That could have nearly been holding the ball. Little tap on by Lopez, landed in Lee Stockdale's hands, kicks it inside 50. Out to meet it there is Sandy, falls to ground, tries to flick a handball out the back. Burge gave it to Hector, hard up the boundary line, left foot kick under pressure by Hearn, and it goes over, out of bounds on the full. As Devon Suter will take this one, the margin 2 points now. Jack Brown it will be for the Tigers, looking to switch but decides to come down the line. Noy will fly 3 deep, can't mark, over the back Cameron, taps it across to himself, keeps his feet sort of, then got tunnelled, fell to ground, works hard at ground level again, does Cameron. Ball up right on there, attacking 50. Right in front of the red caboose, the fire is going, the beers are flowing, and they're loving this big game, round 8 action of the TRFM Gippsland League here at Traralgon.
Abbas gets the ball down, but it goes straight to Lee Stockdale. Quick kick forward, is going to bounce just inside the corridor and runs over the boundary line in front of Troy Forrest, 15 metres from Traralgon's goal.
One thing I've just noticed then, Herney, what's his first name against Ryan Hearn, he's just come to the bench when it's in Traralgon's forward 50 again.
Is that the third or fourth time they've done that now?
I'm not sure exactly why they'd want to do that, but there's a clean up there.
Tim North got cleaned up from the stoppage. The football lands in the hands of the Tigers. Suter, the run and draw, gave it to Grinstein Jones. His kick to Musil, usually good hands, he does. Takes the mark, he can go in, boy, they've got numbers everywhere. Trouble. He puts it on Kennedy's head. It doesn't matter, the Tigers have got numbers. Noy's one of them. He's just got to get it on out wide, and he did it. He went inside forward 50 and put his player under enormous pressure. Tatterson comes out the metre. It still might come off. Noy's kick inside 50 for Chunkin. Goes towards the pocket in front of Cameron. No, it's not. It's McDonald. He's going to hate me for saying that one. McDonald goes back now to Anderson. Anderson comes back inboard to Tatterson on his head. Can't get it. Michaelides, Noy's there. Noy kick goes high up in the air. Grinstein Jones with courage. Takes a mark going back. The gritty pig with courage in front of Pearce.
He's a wrecking ball, isn't he?
Geez, they made it hard for themselves, though, didn't they?
Simon Noy has got blinkers.
Grinstead goes a quick one over the top, but the umpire says, I've called time on. He's going to have to retake his kick as Tatterson worked into the space, but he's going to have a shot from goal, 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. Might be too far out if he's looked to give it that one off. He's going to handle across out the back here to Breton from 49, unloads. It's going. Has it got the distance? No.
Poor checking from Traralgon then, wasn't it?
It was. Minor score. Build up for nothing. And on the Carpet Country scoreboard, you can find them in the Traralgon Superstore, Lakes Entrance Sale at Hayfield.
It's 3-4-22 Traralgon, leading by just 1 point over Moore, who are 3-3-21.
He's been pretty impressive, Grinstead Jones, hasn't he? He's probably not built like a footballer, but he just finds the footy in and under. He's got beautiful skills. He's one guy that Moore probably need to get the footy in his hands a lot more.
One we haven't called too much, guys, is Anthony Rosado. So look to see him in the second half to try and fire up a little bit and get some of that inside ball use as Traralgon just controlling possession in the last few minutes of this first half. Lee Stockdale waxing a bit with North. This time he plays on. He's got some numbers inside, finds Burns. Burns handballs outside to Lee Stockdale. He's going to go long down the wing, looking for Burge. Abbas sets himself, beats everybody. Jack Brown over the back as the siren does sound. 26.5 minutes have gone in this second quarter, and that's half-time.
Which sees Traralgon lead it by 1 solitary point at half-time. It is Traralgon 3-4-22. The Tigers quarter is about to get underway at the moment. Is it a 6-on-6, guys? We're looking at even Stevens at the moment.
All even, mate.
So it's Abbas up against the big doctor in Amberg. The ball goes up. Amberg got it down. Running onto that was North. This is Tim. Got tackled immediately, and we have a ball up.
Interesting, boys. Maul have started with Rosado and Tom Wilson and Devon Suter on the bench. So two midfielders there, in and under midfielders, are starting on the bench for the Tigers.
Abbas had 2 goes at it, flicked it out. This time it's Kennedy's, handballed to no one. Working hard at ground level is Hildebrand. They jump on top of him. We'll get another ball up.
Doesn't take a backward step, Simon Noy, does he there, Scud?
No, he just crashes in. He does not care, has no fear whatsoever. Ball goes up again. This time Amberg hit it forward. Running onto it out there was Kennedy. Just fumbled at the crucial stage. Allows him to give the handball off to Forrest from 40 to open the third quarter. It's away. Minor score. And the first time in this third quarter thanks to McDonald's.
He was full of run then, Forrest, wasn't he?
Run Forrest. See what he did there, Brad.
Thanks,
possibly one of the worst jokes we've ever heard on Gippsland Live.
I've wanted that one for about an hour.
As the football comes into Salerno, his kick goes out wide, close to the boundary line. McMahon and Jacobson. Jacobson was a strong tackle on McMahon. And a couple of minutes into this third quarter, Paul Carter.
The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard reads Traralgon 3-5-23, leading by 2 points over Moore, 3-3-21.
Ball up just inside the field of play. Amberg works to the front, taps it down. Good work by Abbas to work hard again. Good work again this time by Jacobson from Traralgon to get it. Kick it high on Lopez's head. Hildebrand was front and square. Kennedy dove on the football. Then gave it back to Hearn, who gave it to Jacobson. His little chip kick. Abbas and Hillier crash into each other. Allows Amberg to gather. Kick it high up and under inside 50. Sandy stood under it. Couldn't mark. Anderson at ground level. Handballs over the back. It was Wetherill who just slapped it into the danger zone. Traralgon crashing quickly. No one can win the football. And we've got another ball up. Dangerous spot to hit the football there, Scuzz.
Yeah, it definitely is. You don't want to be hitting that one back inboard. And Traralgon have been pretty dangerous in these situations today.
So Abbas this time up against Sandy. Sandy taps it backwards. Salerno got driven into the back. No free kick. And we'll do this one again, Troy.
Yes, we're 30 metres out directly in front of Traralgon's goal. Plenty of numbers around the footy. Big Dr. Amberg sets himself 40 metres off the contest. Sandy's allowed to go up with no contest. Noy just soccers the ball off the ground. Gets the ball outside defensive 50. Leading the race back there is Michael Stockdale. Headed up by Manon Johnson. Stockdale handballs over the top. Coming in board the corridor finds Jackson Hall. Hall goes short again. Finds Jackson McMahon. 60 metres out from goal. Chips the ball over the top. That's a nice lead. And hit up from Luke DeCirio. Sorry. Didn't really carry too far, boys. Seen a few not 15s play on called. That one was deemed to be the appropriate distance as Luke DeCirio sets himself for goal.
No wind to make here. He's going back to have a shot.
He can make the distance.
He'll kick it from 60.
He's going to set himself. Makes his way.
He'll drop short.
Just inside the centre square. Ball on its way. Gets a bit too far underneath the ball. It's going to fall short. Great contest on the behind line, and Ryan Hearn knocks the ball through for a minor score for the Maroons.
Traralgon are good bringing it back into that corridor, aren't they, Scuzz?
Yeah.
Their foot skills at the moment is just a little bit sharper than the Tigers.
It makes them look a lot more dangerous and more at the minute with their skill level.
So Anderson for the Tigers will bring this one back in. The margin is 3 points. Comes out wide to Abbas, who leaps. Couldn't quite mark it. Front and square was Jacobson for the Tigers, but McMahon picked it off. He kicks a barrel, goes high up and under. Bit of a wobbly kick inside 50 it went. Tatterson put his body on the line, gave it to Hearn, gave it to Suter, who
Traditional.
ducks the shoulder and gets one over the shoulder from the coach.
I don't know if he ducks.
No, he doesn't duck, sorry.
That's short.
He is short. As Suter, inside his defensive 50, kicks it over the top, finds Noy. Noy pushes back. This is the important kick from the Tigers. They haven't been this clean in this area of the ground, and Noy just thumps it high and long, looking for Britton, who will fly. Couldn't quite mark, and all the numbers in the favour of the Maroons. It's Hall. Got it out wide towards Michael Stockdale, who took the uncontested mark on the wing and slows things up out there. Comes back to where it came from, where Jackson Hall is. Jackson Hall can come in board to Yench if he wants. Couldn't quite see him.
Still got numbers there.
Now he goes to him. Not Yench, this time it was Lee Stockdale, who took the mark and plays on quickly. Left foot kick out wide. Found out there, is it Tim North?
Yep.
Took the mark right up on the boundary line on his half-back flank. Goes down the line. The lead was from Marsh, but coming in front spot was Ryan Hearn, who now can come in board to Micah Leedy's on the wing.
This is where they got to take the game on, I reckon. Just take a couple of chances and look to hit that diagonal 30-metre pass and just trying to break open the defence of the Maroons. Have been disciplined down back at Traralgon.
They just went over the top with that little kick on that occasion to Suter. Went out wide to Hillier.
Very slow moving.
Yeah,
at the
it
moment.
is.
Yeah, but you look at the numbers back for Traralgon. They've just filtered back nicely. Comes just inside 50 at ground level. Johnson handballs the ball back to Musel. Goes further back to Grinstead Jones. Puts the ball in the boot. 1-on-1. Great contest down there. Ends up with Britton. Britton snaps as he put under pressure. He's going to go high. And contest there in the pocket. Stockdale puts a strong tackle on and forces the ball over for a boundary throw in 10 metres around from Moore's goal.
They don't want to be bombing the ball in too often, Moore, but they just did it then and got a contest, and Manon Johnson had a chance to rove the ball.
3-point margin in favour of Traralgon. 6-minute mark, second quarter.
Free kick. Ball.
It's going to go in the way of, is it Hillier or Rosado?
Hillier.
Hillier will be the one. And if he's got any decent bloodlines running through his body, this will go straight through the middle, post high.
You're telling me you were a backman last week, Scud?
I played everywhere, Scars. Don't worry about that.
No chance of a pass off here, Daryl?
Not a single chance. Hillier is only 40 metres out. He's on a
test him?
light angle. Distance will not test him at all. Accuracy will. As he comes in.
Confidence.
He has a shot, kicks a little bit high, and he kept it skinny.
He likes it.
He does like it, though.
I like it.
They do like it. It got high, and there you go. He puts it through. It's a good start for the Tigers in this third quarter.
It definitely is. It's the team that holds it in their forward 50. Seem to be scoring at the minute. I know we've only had 7 or 8 goals kicked for the whole game, but it's all the pressure. There's just pressure, and then it's causing the turnovers. It's not an open sort of free-flowing, clean game at the minute. But if they can just scrap goals, that's what both teams have been doing, just scrapping their goals. Obviously, it's a long kick in that caused that spoil, and then they ended up with the goal from a free kick.
Maul hit the front for the first time at the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. The McDonald Gippsland scoreboard sees the Tigers 4-3-27, Traralgon 3-6-24.
Bass won the hit out just. Rosado was going nowhere, though. And we've got another ball up right in the centre circle. 7.5 minutes of played. It's a real arm wrestle. It's not the prettiest game of football, but it's tough and strong in the middle as Collison wins this one. Drove it inside forward 50. The big flies. DeCirio's there. Over the back, running onto it by Marsh. Puts it on his boot, and there's a reply within inside 30 seconds.
That could be our 4-20 goal of the day. Great roving work by Tate Marsh. Limited edition Aussie slang packs in store now as Traralgon get the quick reply.
It doesn't take much for Traralgon to score their goals compared to Maul, does it? They go forward, they're scrappy, they're not your genuine lead up, full forward, marks the ball out on a lead. They're just scrapping goals. Both sides are doing it. It happened again. They rove that brilliantly then and finished well.
And the lead back to Traralgon. Maul only held it for 1 minute. 4-6-30 Traralgon. Maul 4-3-27 on the McDonald Gippsland scoreboard.
Certainly Traralgon midfielders on top of the Tigers at the moment. Back in the middle of Bass, hit it raw to straight down Michaelides. Those two have teamed up a couple of times. The kick inside 50. Pierce over the top over Musil. But the man in front will be paid.
No!
Man in front all day, every day, Brad Thomas.
Had a good view from up here, Springer.
As Dan the man Metamusil will go back and have a shot. And if you're a defender, do you spoil first, boys?
Yes.
There's the lesson.
That could have been spoiled straight over for a boundary throw-in, and they're going to reset. But unfortunately for Traralgon, it's Musil making his way in. The old Kennedy stutter step. Ball on the boot.
He likes it. He's
both hands up in the air.
Oh, the double
Thank you very
cobra.
much, and we have another change of lead.
The double cobra, boys. It's out.
Oh, we like that, boys, don't we? We like that sort of celebration. Here's the hit out from Abbas in the middle, though. Straight down Michaelides' throat. Beautiful ball user is Michaelides. Hits up Musil up in the forward 50, and it's been 3 goals in about 3 minutes, and it's looking good, boys.
Maul back into the lead at the 9-minute mark of the third quarter on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Maul 5-3-33, leading Traralgon 4-6-30.
Just starting to open up just a little bit, isn't it, boys, in the last couple of minutes of play, as we expected.
The last 2 centre clearances have been quick kicks inside 50 to a contest.
Noy up on this wing, up with Jackson McMahon. Back in the middle now. Abbas gets high early. Neutral, no hit out, comes to Lee Stockdale, left foot kick towards the top of the 50. Salerno with his body on the line, nice little tap, and then won the football, and then kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Undone all his good work, didn't he?
Yeah, he did everything right until the final kick.
They play on quickly, the umpire said come back, and it's going in the way of Forrest, who had a good run before, didn't he, Springer? A lovely gag, as Troy Forrest on the far side comes kicks it down the line, looking for a target out there. Hearn was a big fly, and the disciplined defender spoiled. Footy on the ground. Suter just flicks a handball out the back. Now it's Wilson. His quick kick relieves some pressure. Hillier on the end of this one. Bounces off his chest. Gathers it. Handballs back to Johnson.
Keep going.
Who can take off. His kick is a tumbler one. Inside 50. No one's going to mark it. The foot race is on. It's Britton and Cameron. Britton puts it on the boot. Close to the goal line. Yentz just waits for it. Tatterson closes. Puts him on a tackle. The umpire says, oh, my
Very
ball.
quick to blow the
He was.
for a ball up.
Didn't really give it enough to get out, did he?
Hayden Britton's looking dangerous up forward with his pace, isn't he?
He certainly is. This is right on the point of the square for the Tigers inside 50 from the stoppage. Can they get it? No, Collison has it. Handball out wide there to Michael Stockdale. Left foot kick along the line. Wilson has it. Handball to no one.
On a different page to Hillier.
Oh, Stockdale picked it off, gave it to North, to Lopez, who also dropped it. Now the Tigers rush in. Wilson's there, gathers it, handballs backwards. Salerno takes on the tackler, got his foot away.
Another out of bounds on the full, unfortunately for Tristan Salerno.
That was a great tackle though, wasn't it, from Hildebrand?
Yeah, just managed to get an arm in, just grab him on the sleeve of the short sleeve of his jumper there, as North going to chip the ball over the top. Lopez, strong mark out in front, as Ryan Hearn put the pressure on but couldn't quite get the fist in, as Lopez again over the top looking for his teammate. Is that Jackson McMahon out on the outer wing in front of his opponent? Just need to be a bit more disciplined, man up a bit quicker, do the Tigers. Got some numbers back now, forces McMahon to go long down the line, and Jack Brown over the top, roving the balls. Lee Stockdale gets the old 1-2, but Zach Anderson read that play nicely and forces the ball over for a boundary throw in 40 metres around from Traralgon's goal. 12 minutes into this third term, and we see Moore lead by 3 points.
Hearn will be hurt. No, Musil will be up against Amberg. Got it down. Rosado picked it off, gave it backwards to Wilson. Kick around his body. Reading it nicely in the air was Matt North, who took the mark. Half forward flank now for the Maroons. Chips it over the top on the lead. Two Tigers put a hand up, enough to spoil it. Rosado again back there, now starting to find it. The 1-2 from Michaelides, back to Rosado. Kick out wide, over the top. Johnson was there, tried to work his teammate underneath it. Couldn't quite do so. Getting the hand up was Burns, and it goes over. Boundary throw in.
It was very rushed then from all. Traralgon set up beautifully behind the play. They had 3 or 4 set up, say 40 away from the contest, caused that turnover and got the stoppage.
Amberg again got it down to Collison, to Hector. The 0-1-2 quickly now through North. Runs in towards McMahon. McMahon kicks it to centre half forward. DeCerio takes the mark right on 50. Turns around, kicks it out in the front of Lopez. Closing his Hearn. Hearn spoils, goes to ground. Tigers got plenty of numbers. Free kick in the back. It's a late whistle.
It was there though.
It was possibly there after the spoil.
Very late call.
Lopez gets up holding ribs, shoulders, arms and legs as Hearn fell on him.
Hearn's got some really good closing speed, doesn't he? Has a couple of times now where Lopez has looked to be out on a strong lead, but Hearn just closes quickly. I thought he was a bit unlucky there, Hearn.
I think it was more after the contest, wasn't it?
No, there wasn't much after the contest. I think Hearn was up on his feet and Lopez was on the ground. But Lopez does get the free kick. Sorry, Scud.
Nah.
Makes his way in. Tight angle. It's going to be a tough ask from a right footer on that pocket. And misses to the near side does Lopez, and a minor score, and Maul managed to hold their lead.
Which is now reduced to 2 points on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Maul a 5-3-33. Traralgon now moved to 4-7-31.
Quick check for the AFL. Thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. It is the Suns leading by 32 points, and that is at three-quarter time. The Hawks are gone, boys. 11-14-80. The Suns, 7-6-48 Hawthorn.
I don't like calling teams as gone. Maybe that comes with being a North Melbourne supporter when they're 5 goals up at three-quarter time. So not going to write Hawthorn off just yet.
Rightio.
The ball gets kicked in to the outer half-back flank.
They're not playing Richmond, mate. It's okay.
We have a ball up. Traralgon's half-forward flank on the outer side here at Traralgon Showgrounds. Great tap by Amberg. Shark there by North, but he's tackled straight away. Ends up with Joel Suter. Quick kick forward, but reading the ball nicely is Jackson Hall for Traralgon, marking on his defensive half-back flank. Holds the ball up. He's got players inside the corridor, but he's going to go long down the line. Hugging the boundary. Lopez sets himself. Hearn gets a fist in, brings the ball at ground level. Suter there for Maul. Hamels back to his brother. Comes inside. Zach Anderson's got some pressure on here. Oh, he gets drilled into the ground. That'll be a free kick to Zach Anderson on his defensive 50-metre line. A bit slow to get up, and there's looked to be Rowan Hildebrand putting the pressure on and giving away the free kick.
So Anderson has it on his defensive 50. It's 15-minute mark of the third quarter here at Traralgon. The Tigers lead it by 2 points down the line. I'm not sure why the big kick down the line is there when they've got no tall targets, but they win it at ground level. It was Chunky Duncan whose handball missed Hillier, and over it goes.
And that one was Manna Johnson.
Yeah, well, there you go. So
does some good work, though, to force a boundary throw in and trying to get some numbers forward for the Tigers.
Back in, Musil takes a ruck work up against Amberg. Collison works hard at ground level, jumps on the football. Suter was there, so was Wetherill. And we've got another ball up. Michaelides working hard as well.
What do you reckon about the setup here of Traralgon, boys? They've got them all pushed up, say, 30, 40 metres away from the contest so they can get that one over the back.
I reckon it might suit Maul.
Jack Brown
peeling off. Yeah.
From the stoppage though, Wilson head over it, working hard. Noy comes in to help, took the ball on and then took the tackler on, and he got pinged for holding the footy on the half forward flank. Now they all rush back.
Looks like Rosado, boys, is going with a pretty strong tag on Collison, especially around the stoppages.
Quick kick, but the umpire said, hang on a sec, just got to get some hair out of my eyes, I want to do this again. As that comes back to Lopez, half forward flank. There's numbers everywhere now, but they go short. They've been very good with this, the Maroons. Over the top to Hector. He's outside 50, still a long way out. Kicks it to the top of the square. Sandy's the target. Anderson's there. Sandy put one hand up. Collison was there. Couldn't quite get a clean handball away. Falls in the hands there of Forrest. Quick kick with his left foot. No one there, but all Tigers. Bounce eluded big Dan Musil, and Anderson was happy to see it go over, and the Tigers reset. All the numbers and all the play, boys, are all forward of centre at the moment. There's about 50 people inside the defensive 50.
I reckon they've set up well here, Traralgon. They've got a couple just off the contest, not too far away, so they can receive a handball.
Birch tried to win the footy from the stoppage. Couldn't quite get it on his boot. Anderson happy to see this one go over. And, of course, there couldn't quite be 50 inside 50.
I don't mind this for Maul having all the players up in the forward half for Traralgon as Maul bring the play in. Because if they can get it quick, I'd like to see them kick it quick to space because I reckon they've got Traralgon for leg speed. Yeah. As a
another kick off the ground.
It's not...
no, they've called that deliberate. Under pressure, that was very hard. Under pressure, a deliberate. It allows Traralgon to come back inboard to Matt North. Matt North slows things up on the wing, chips one over the top.
That's where they've been disciplined.
Burge marks, plays on. You got tackle from behind from Michaelides. Suter goes back. Handballs across now to guess what? He's Suter. The Suter boys whack, so do the North boys. Suter gave it to Michaelides at pace through half-back flank. Kicks it in front of Britton. He's going to take this mark on his chest. He's too far out the score.
Get it in there quick.
Britton slows it up. He needs to move the footy quick. He's waiting, still waiting. Now he kicks it in to McDonald. Over the top. McDonald marks on his chest, plays on, kicks it around his body, and they get another one. In the end, it was well worked out by Britton.
Makey, what have you asked for from Maul for the whole game? That quick ball movement, that's one of the only times in the whole game that they've done it. And look at the result. Britton, whether he went quick or not, it ended up working. But he probably could have gone quick to a one-on-one there with Brandon McDonald, but the quick ball movement from all, that was the difference, and Traralgon have been doing it and getting it into their forward line quickly with one-on-ones, which is exactly what you want from your forwards.
We're coming up to the 19-minute mark of the third quarter, and the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard sees Moore with a 7-point lead. They're 6-3-39, leading Traralgon 4-8-32.
The other thing they did there too, Scuzz, is hit targets as well. Traralgon didn't touch it when the ball came outside defensive 50 there, and it was all marks and plays on.
Michaelides again it was.
Just a dash off the half-back flank.
Footy back in the middle. Musil goes up. Amberg got the tap out. Matt North gathers it. Handballs over his head. Falls in Stockdale's hands. Running onto it now was the big ruckman in Amberg, but he just gave it up to Musil. Musil got tackled quickly, and that was called holding the ball as Forrest wins it. Pushes back for the Maroons. They trail at the moment by 7 points. Forrest goes towards Sandy. Brown goes back with a flight. Spoils down. Comes to DeCirio. Takes on the tackler. That should be holding the ball. The umpire said no. Rosado head over the football. Flicked out the handball. Hector tried the don't argue. Didn't quite work. And we've got another ball up directly in front.
Was the umpire watching the fight then instead of...
Didn't even know there was a fight on.
Yeah, there was a little scuffle there, and I think the umpire might have been looking at that.
Ball up. This time it was Lopez got his hand on it. Out the back was Wetherill. Quick, fresh, airy. Play on, said the umpire. Burge comes in to meet it. And again, we've got another ball up.
Is where Traralgon look really dangerous in these situations. If they don't win the clearance, they create another stoppage. Umpire balls it up. Musil wins it down. Michaelides, geez, he's clean at ground level. Handballs the ball off to Rosado. He does kick it out to space. It says Jacobson, run onto it. And he's got the pace. Can it sit up for him? It does. He goes to ground under pressure. Rosado follows up. He's going to put his head over the ball. Gets held without it.
Yeah, good
and
work.
He'll win a free kick. Really good work to follow up his for a second effort there. Help out his teammate.
And Jacobson, of course, to win the 2-on-1 in the end.
Yeah, that was a great effort.
Goes over the top. Cutting the ball off nicely is Tim North. Been a bit quieter this quarter, Paul.
This will be his third kick.
He did kick it inboard, found Hector. They're on the wing. They trail by 7 points. The Maroons down the line, looking for Lopez. Couldn't mark. Jacobson won it. Handball to Rosado. Rosado handballs out to Grinny Pig. Grinny Pig comes in board to Michaelides. Play on to the umpire, not 15. He handballs it back to Musil on the half-back flank. Kicks it towards Suter. Big clash. No one can win it. Musil took on the tackler. Gave it to Michaelides on the run. Michaelides out in the front of Britton. Hit him up. And Britton is lively up forward. This time Britton moves it quickly. Goes towards Tatterson. It comes over the back. McDonald into an open goal square. From 1 metre out. And he's kicked it behind. Can you believe it?
He ran into the points then.
He did run straight into the points. The Traralgon under-18s have absolutely given it to him.
Malcolm Blythe.
And it's just so appropriate it is the McDonald scoreboard as well. At the 29-minute mark. We'll get to the score in a minute. Suter from 48 unloads with a right foot bomb. Going away. Another minor score, Paul Carter.
It's taking them all to a 9-point lead. They're 6-5-41 to Traralgon 4-8-32 on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
They look really dangerous when they move the ball quick.
Yeah, Michaelides has been the one who's got it back into the game. How many times has he run through that middle part of the ground and hit targets up forward?
Handball receives.
One possession though, isn't he? He just gets it and then he's crisp, he's clean.
All clean, mate.
Handball receives are super important for the Tigers. That's where they're going to win the game of football if they're willing to continue to run and create. Football in the hands of Hall. Comes in board to Matt North. Matt North, they chip it around again to Collison. You know Collo will use it, and he does nicely out to the big doctor in Amberg. Amberg right in front of his home coach's box here at Traralgon. Good crowd in on a Saturday afternoon. Amberg kicks towards half forward. Chunky Duncan flies. Misread it. Couldn't quite mark. Sandy. Rosado meets him. And
just
a free kick. I agree. That is just a contest. Sandy's trying to get this to move quickly.
McMahon's on his own down here.
Gave it across to North. North took on Suter. His kick goes out wide. Noy with a flight. Good enough just to create the contest. Burge at ground level. Suter wraps him up.
They did really well there, Maul.
Yeah. Simon Noy, wasn't it?
Simon Noy runs back with a flight, and Devon Suter put his head over the ball and met Collison head on, created the stoppage.
Big moment thanks to Monticello's. I've got a feeling 23-minute mark. This is a big moment. Noy wins it from the stoppage, kicks it down the line. Over the back, though, was Jacobson. Kick finds McMahon on centre wing. McMahon. He can go short to North. He does now. That's Matt. Is it 15? No. 15. Play on to the umpire. He goes short. Hits the ground. Collison. Handballs to no one. Noy runs through. Gets one over the top of the shoulder from Timmy North. And he plays on to Simon Noy.
Johnson.
Goes to Johnson now. Finds him. No. Goes over the top. Drops the mark. Pearce comes. Can't quite gather it cleanly. Falls in the hands now of Hector. His kick goes out wide towards Marsh and Salerno. Marsh, Salerno, they both overrun it. Lopez was there. His kick goes backwards. Found Hall. Marks it, plays on quickly, runs around Grinstein Jones to Lopez from 50, unloads, top of the square, Amberg, can't mark, ground level to Serio, he ran over it, Tigers come in, Wetherill, falls into Serio's hands again, right foot, check side, misses, minor score.
Heating up down here, isn't it?
Heating up here as well.
I reckon that was clever from Amberg then. I don't reckon he went for that. Was it Amberg? Yeah, he went.
Yeah.
I don't think he was trying to attempt to mark that. He just tapped it down beautifully and they ended up getting a score out of it.
8-point lead Moores Way in the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. 6-5-41, Traralgon 4-9-33, 24.5 minutes into the third quarter.
Anderson kicks towards the big ruckman in. Isaac Abbas can't mark. North, ground level. That was Tim. Handball to McMahon. Gave it to Matt North now. Running away from the goals around his body. He's going to miss it. And another minor score. And that goes... No, we've got a whistle, have we? It's either downfield, but I don't think it's going to be downfield. They're going to bring it back. How can this not be downfield, boys, when he kicked the football unopposed?
Is it possible that because the ball went through for a score, so there's no distinct downfield area?
No landing point, yeah, that's it.
Fair enough.
Didn't really say that with confidence, Makey, but it was true.
So in the end, North will have a shot on goal right in front of the Traralgon deck here this afternoon.
Do you back him here, boys?
I'll back him.
It's a fair angle.
There's no breeze.
No.
He's a right footer. 25 minutes, a big moment thanks to Monticello's.
Near side's going to come off the right side of the boot.
He's going to kick it from about 45 metres. He comes in. Abbas is on the mark. Right foot kick. It's a beautiful one.
Beauty.
Who doubted him? Not I. And it goes straight through the middle. Matt North. The Maroons close the gap to within 2.
Look, I reckon we've got a cracking game here, boys. It's obviously really close. Both teams are putting their head over the footy. It's starting to become a lot more cleaner. it's on here, boys. I reckon I've got a good feeling about this. It might go down to the wire like we predicted before the game.
And the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard shows a 2-point lead to Morwell, 26 minutes into the third quarter. The Tigers are 6-5-41, Traralgon 5-9-39.
Well, not too many goals have been scored in this game so far. Total of 11. First two quarters have gone pretty short. Can't imagine this one being any different. As Abbas gets hands to the ball, but his second effort is a bit too overzealous and gives away a free kick. Quick play on, finds Lee Stockdale, goes out wide looking for Michael Stockdale.
Oh, good
strong mark. And in front of Tom Wilson. On the wing, as Collison's a bit slow to get up. Doesn't stop him making himself an option. But Stockdale goes back the other way, finds Amberg. He takes on his opponent and beats him 60 metres out. That's a wobbler kick forward, and Jack Brown reads it nicely for the Tigers and takes a nice defensive mark. 20 metres out from his defensive goal. Plays on quickly. Abbas again goes through the hands. Comes to Michael Stockdale running through the middle. That's a wobbler going forward as well. They're not clean. Sandy handballs off to Marsh. Marsh on the left. Dribbles this one through. And that puts Traralgon in front leading into three-quarter time.
Oh, big moments thanks to Monticello's. Marsh's pace was unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely was there, Scott. I just like Traralgon how well drilled they are. They set up perfectly behind the footy. It goes in. Every single player knows where they've got to stand when it goes into their forward 50. They've created that turnover from forward line pressure. The guys outside 50 have hit the target and finished with a nice goal.
And the fourth lead change for the term sees Traralgon 4 points in front of the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Traralgon 6-9-45. Now lead Morwell, who are 6-5-41.
That's twice coming through the corridor now for Morwell, where the kick has either just gone... Has it kick gone too far, or has the marker just not been strong enough?
I think it's the mark.
Yeah, just gone through the hands there and created a turnover. And that's two quick goals late in this quarter for the Maroons to see them hit the front.
And a couple of free kicks as well, pretty costly.
A couple of wobbly kicks going in too, weren't they? They were shockers.
They're danger balls too sometimes. Back in the middle this time, Abbas got high, tapped it towards Tatterson. And right on the three-quarter time siren, it went 28 minutes, and Tate Marsh gets one at the 27.5-minute mark to get the lead in front for the Maroons. They've led at every change. It was 7 points at quarter time, 1 point at half time.
A massive deal for the last quarter.
Troy Makepeace, we'll get to some scores from three-quarter time. We're a little bit ahead of everybody else at the moment.
That's it, mate. Good game up at Sale, boys. Going for goal for goal up there.
We'll get there in a moment. Last quarter is underway. No one's really winning this one from the stoppage. There's numbers everywhere, as you would expect. It's going to be hot and pretty tight early, you'd think, in this final quarter, as it is evenly balanced. The 4-point margin in favour, as they got two last late-minute goals in that third quarter that did the Maroons. Amberg tapped it down. Grinstein Jones picked it off, and again, we'll do it again.
Do you think the Morwell Brains Trust have recognised that Simon Noy started to create a bit off the back line? They look like they've moved him out onto a wing at this stage, so look for some run and carry for Simon Noy for the Tigers.
Absolutely. Big tap out there by Abbas, went straight down Noy's throat that time. They got it to half forward. Coming out there was Pearce, who attacked the football, ran across half back, kicks it down the line. Hearn was the spoiler. Front and square, though, was Forrest in front of Kennedy, the first gamer. Squeezes a handball across now there to Hector. He comes in board to Hildebrand. Gave it to Collison. His kick goes inside 50 and found Burns up forward. That is DeCerio, it is, who took the mark. Hard up on the boundary line, DeCerio. Decides to put it to the hot spot. Where's the fly? The Doctor's one of them. Big double fist spoil by Abbas. He goes again. Hearn has to put it on the boot. Doesn't go too far. Falls now out there to Hector. Squeezes a handball across to the Collison coach. Has a flying shot. It's going. And first score, it's a minor one for the Maroons, but they extend the margin on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard this afternoon. It's Super Saturday.
That's a 5-point lead to Traralgon, 6-10-46 to Morwell, 6-5-41.
I like the lead there from DeCerio. He made Jack Brown follow him out with that strong lead. If he can get Jack Brown out of the play, it'll go a long way to making Traralgon win the game.
Tigers just hold on to possession as they go to the dead pocket and then come inboard to Suter. Suter gets it out towards McDonald. Takes a mark. He's a long way up. Presents for a good forward. McDonald decides to kick it high and long, looking for Brown. He's found him close to the line, just inside though the field of play. Jack Brown can come inboard to Tatterson. No, goes down the line, just chips one. Nice kick to Musil, and Musil's got great buckets on him. Handballs quickly to Wilson for the run. They get to half forward. Neat little kick to Johnson. Marks on the top of the 50. He's too far out the score as Noy runs inside 50, presents, doesn't go to him. He comes back to the far side. Out there is Michaelides, marks at 48, runs on to 45, kicks it to the hot spot. It's going to go over the back. Hillier can't mark at ground level. Jackson Hall does well. Handballs across now to Stockdale. Stockdale misses the target, allows Michaelides to come in, takes him on, runs to the boundary line, delivers, no. Misses a target to North and Traralgon are away.
Our handball's out to Jackson Hall. Jackson Hall goes further afield
McMahon's
to
on here.
Jacobson. As Springer just mentioned, we'll do the commentating up here, buddy. Jackson McMahon goes inside the corridor. That's a nice kick. This is going to open up the other side of the ground. As North goes in short, finds Hector. Hector goes further afield to LaPraise. He can play on. Pressure from Wilson. A little bit too late. That kick is cut off nicely from Jack Brown. Does that well. That left foot not really on. Bit of pressure here from the Tigers. Suter gets tackled. Umpire says play on. Goes in and gets and gets his head ripped off. Umpire says holding the ball. You are kidding me. He's had his head ripped off.
Wowee. Well,
And he's going to let his opposition know. He can't believe it, Joel Suter, as he gets up, picks his head up off the ground as well, puts it back on his shoulders, has to give the ball up to North.
so North kicks it inside 50. They got one over the top. Guess what? It's North to North. And this time Matt is going to have a shot in a similar spot that Luke DeCerio did a couple of moments ago, as he got a minor score. Let's see if Matt North can rectify that problem.
We've seen him kick one on his wrong side for his right foot before.
I'm not doubting him this time.
I reckon he'll kick
Straight through the middle.
North from about 40 metres. He pokes at it. It goes high up into the air. He likes it. No, he doesn't. It's a minor score. And on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, it is 4 minutes into this final quarter.
And Traralgon are leading by 6 points, 6-11-47 to Moore 6-5-41.
Ball back into play to Wetherill. His right foot kick goes out wide to Musil. Nice, beautiful kick. Hits the target. Wetherill, Musil it is. It goes back. Kicks it high down the line. Looking for Britton. He gets a chance to leap and jump. He's got a great leap on him and a great grab. Just needs to find the football a little bit more, because every time he gets it, something happens. And he goes towards half forward. Big fly. No one can mark for the Tigers. Pearce was going back. Tatterson was at ground level. Tried to flick a handball out. Can't do so. Pearce goes in. And we're going to ball up inside 50.
The reason why there's a ball up here is because they kick down the line, they go back off their mark and they go again. It allows Traralgon to set up behind the play and give him no clean entries.
I'd like to see him use that 45-degree pass, 20 metres, and then play on quickly, and it gets it over those players that drop in behind. The ball ends up Musil. Musil handballs out wide to his teammate. He's tackled straight away. And we'll have another ball up 40 metres out, 45-degree angle for the Maul Tigers.
It's a risky play.
It is, but
it has its rewards as well.
They're behind. You just got to take some chances. Amberg gets a big leap, follows up with his second effort, gets a kick forward. Chain of handballs ends up with Jacobson. His hurry kick forward. Jack Brown goes off the ground. Tackle straight away is Hearn. The umpire says you held on too long, Ryan Hearn. And a free kick goes in the way of Dylan LaPraise on the outer wing. Handballs to his coach in Collison. Collison looks to find Sandy. Sandy leads Brown to the ball. Allowed time to gather and kick inside 50. One-on-one contest deep in the pocket. Sees Zach Anderson lead the ball over for a boundary throw in 10 metres around from Traralgon's goal. Just putting the pressure on the Maroons.
6 point is the margin at the moment. 6 minutes have gone in the final quarter. It is game on thanks to Monticello's this afternoon. Ball back into play. Inside 50 they go. Noy it was. Big quick kick out towards the top of his 50 and a free kick for holding. Goes in the way of Manon Johnson of the Tigers on his defensive 50. Just relieving a little bit of pressure. Duncan leads, so does Musil. Both of those are ignored. They still lead. No one over the back leads. Decides now to go to Duncan and misses it as Cameron puts in a spoil and goes over for a boundary throw-in. As Big Abbas and Ryan Hearn are the two tools down here at the moment. Abbas is a loose one, Scuzz.
Yep.
You'd like it probably if Brown was, perhaps, but...
Yeah, you'd think that.
Boundary throw-in, though. Top of the 50 for the Maroons. Musil tried to hit it straight down. Picked off there by Suter. Gave it to Hillier. Right foot kick down the line. Goes on top of Johnson's head. Cameron, spoil once, spoil twice. Good tackle by Hon Hall. He got his handball away. Now it opens up on the other side. Matt North kicks around his body. Picked off by Wilson. Took a mark at half-back. Plays on quickly. Kick is a nice, neat one. Found Johnson on the wing. Sun was in his eyes as he tried to switch it. Now he comes towards the fat side. It's a big, strong lead to Britton, who marks on outside 50, takes on the tackler, gets to 40, shot a goal! Oh, there's your 420 goal of the day. Hayden Britton, he set this game alight in the last quarter here at the 7-minute mark. Scores level, game on.
That could be the goal that just breaks the game open a little bit for Maul and gives them the confidence just to take the game on, because he turned around. Jackson McMahon is no slouch, and he took him on, he backed himself and finished off with a great goal.
He's looked dangerous every time he's gone near the footy, Hayden Britton. He probably hasn't had a lot of it, but when he's around it, he just looks so dangerous. That was a great chase too from Jackson McMahon.
Doesn't that remind you of that goal he kicked after the 4 bounces as well? But he was wearing a Traralgon jumper that day. 8 minutes into the final quarter on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard. Scores level, 7-5-47 Maul, 6-11-47 Traralgon.
Every time he touches it, something happens for the Tigers. He needs the football in his hands. Back in the middle. This time, Bass got it, hit it going their way. Michaelides, Salson Candy, gave it across to Suter. Suter's kick inside 50. Britton goes back, one-hander.
He's got it.
He's got a free kick. As we said, right on cue, something happens when it goes in his area. And he's going to go back. He wore a Traralgon jumper a couple of years ago, and he's about to kick 2 last quarter goals to get the Tigers back in front.
There's the chemistry from the ruckman and Michaelides. And Abbas and Michaelides, I don't know how many clearances they've had, but they've waxed in the middle there.
Britton directly in front, 25 metres out to put the Tigers in front by 6 or 1. It is 6. He slams it home. The Tigers are in front.
Great work in the middle there by Rob Michaelides. Again, could have elected to go on with a boot, but he just seems to have so much time, doesn't he?
He sold the candy on me. I thought he was going to kick it. I started looking up.
We know how hard it is to sell candy to sell.
That's quite easy, actually.
Yeah, I didn't choose my words too well there, but he's just silk in the middle. If they can win the clearances ball, they're a chance.
A 6-point lead to Maul on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard. 9 minutes into the final term. Maul are 8-5-53. Traralgon 6-11-47.
Springer, the first gamer in Kennedy, has just come off down at ground level thanks to Gippsland Suzuki.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him. He's holding his head. He's got a couple of cuddles off his mates now, but he'll... I'll keep an eye on it, lads.
Well, football back in the middle. The Maroons had their first loss last week. The Tigers are coming off 2 in a row. We've got a centre square infringement, and it's against Traralgon. It's going to the Tigers, which will go to the big ruckman in a Bass. Handballs on quickly. The play on to Suter. Suter sold some candy as well. His kick goes high. Where it goes, Musil. Over the back with a flight was McDonald. Working hard back there is Stockdale. This is Michael. Handballs to the coach, Collison. He goes back to Stockdale near the boundary line. Gives it to Collison. Collison to Cameron. To Stockdale again. Stockdale's kick goes towards McMahon. Good little draw handball to North. He gets tackled. Pressure's on. Hillier at ground level. Close to the boundary line. Hillier keeps it in. No, he doesn't. Over it goes. Right in front of the deck this afternoon. The Tigers lead it here by 6 points.
It's game on, boys. 10 minutes into this last quarter. Can go either way as Springer's still sitting on the fence, both literally and figuratively. As Hillier at ground level, tackled by Stockdale. Amberg follows up his ruck work, 60 metres around from Morwell's goal. Really starting to put the pressure on. And like Scuzz said at three-quarter time, boys, it's that team that just takes the foot off the pedal a little bit.
Traralgon have given one up at the contest here. I think is that Jackson Hall sitting in the middle of the forward 50 there for Maul.
It is from the stoppage. Quick kick there was from Michaelides. Goes to the top of the 50. McDonald comes out to meet it. Gave the handball across now. This time Tatterson. Right foot shot on goal. Misses. Goes across the face. And hits the post out of bounds on the full.
And that was Jackson Hall's opponent then that got the footy out of the contest.
So Burns will take this. He's only got one direction to go, and that's to the far side. And he goes in that direction now, gets it to the top of his 50. Musil in front spot, can't mark. Pearce was there, got tackled from behind and over the boundary line there, friend. We've got a boundary throw in. What a game of football, as we'd expect for the 199th time.
Quick around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. Best ranges and prices guaranteed. Leongatha have opened the game up 14-10-94 and Warragul 7-4-46. And Sale and Bairnsdale, boys. Sale 8-12-60, a trailing Bairnsdale 10-10-70, about 10 minutes into their last quarter.
Amberg won the free kick from the stoppage, kicked it down towards the wing. Wetherill tapped it. They've called that a throw. Unbelievable. Can you believe that one? I don't know if you guys saw it, but Wetherill...
Can't be, because it was going down. You can't throw it.
No, that's exactly right. An open hand throw to the ground. I don't how you can do that. It's like a tap out. Anyway, it was a free kick.
He hates it when he's wrong, Paul.
Do you not agree with me, Springer?
I can't hear you, sorry.
We'll turn your mic off in a moment, and no one across the valley will hear you at all.
There go the ratings then.
As
there go the tickets.
as Collison has it on the centre wing after that throw, comes in board, goes towards Jench, marks, plays on quickly to Jackson Hall. Hall usually delivers nicely, kicks to the fat
Great
side,
kick.
over the top. Amberg couldn't mark, Duncan was there. Handball's over the top, it got smothered. Coming through there was Marsh. He got tackled quickly by Anderson. No!
He's not dropping
And
the
that's
ball.
holding the ball as well, right in front of the red caboose.
Saying that he dropped the shoulder and took on the tackle.
What do you think the supporters at the red caboose have just told the umpire then? Yep, good call. I don't think so. As Anderson kicks it down the line, a big spoil from Cameron. Well, we would have heard that about 20 years ago, and that was his old man, Marty Cameron, used to spoil from behind. Well, he looks like his old man does, the youngster in Bailey Cameron, in for his second game of footy with this Maroons jumper on.
Boundary throw in. No, Ruckman gets a first cleared hit at it. But ground level, Hillier, pressure on from
Great tackle.
Troy Forrest.
Oh.
That is not holding the ball. Umpire, very similar to what happened to Tate Marsh, but a different result. Amberg and a Bass.
Numbers everywhere
Yeah,
over the
numbers
back.
great for
Contest.
Yep.
Jacobson at ground level
They're
gets
lucky.
first hands on it, as we'll have another ball up.
Just lost their structure, didn't they, Scuzz, of that
they
stoppage?
did.
And they've still lost it too. Now Rosado gets there finally. Now it's one-on-one. Amberg put it down. Hillier took on the tackler in
His
Collison.
head ripped off.
Didn't quite have it. Umpire said no. We'll do this one again. We're on the
Just-
half-forward flank.
Have a quick look there, boys.
Yeah, have a look at
Around the stoppage.
Yeah.
Traralgon just rely on their one or two to win the
North sitting out the back
clearance
here, and
and
he
just
used the
filter
footy well.
around.
And it goes in that direction. Collison was free. Flicked it across to Matt North. Took on a tackler. Right foot kick goes inside 50. Lopez is there. Big spoil over the back. This time it was from Wetherill. Running onto it, Noy. Coming the other way, though, was Matt North. Footy in the hands now of Hall. Chips a kick over the top. Misses everybody. Towards the boundary line. Marsh does well. He got tackled again by Anderson. And you can't call that one because it's over for a boundary
It's no
throw-in.
different. That's the question.
Exactly right. And I think that's what the supporters out there are saying as well. What a game of football. 6-point margin in favour of the Tigers at the 14.5-minute mark. Abbas put it down Rosado's throat, and he won a free kick for over the
too
shoulder.
high.
And Jacobson it was.
Boys, there's nowhere to hide in this last 15 minutes. All eyes are on the ball or the person going for the ball.
Oh,
you
he
cannot,
marked it when he went down.
you cannot take a backward step in these last 10 minutes because it could cost you the game. As Traralgon bring the ball inside the corridor to North. North wheels around and goes quickly. Finds Stockdale. He can play on again. He go further, wider to Hildebrand. Leads Abbas to the ball. 80 metres from goal. Got numbers in the corridor.
Collison's on his own.
Uses him.
Collison's
Tim
still
North.
on his own.
Tim North on the left, looking for
Collison.
that man. Collison. Hillier gets
Oh,
back
well
and
done.
puts a great spoil on.
Great work by Hillier. He
If
was
they-
on his own a long, long
If they
time.
went when you called it,
Yep.
Hillier wouldn't have had time to get there.
Well, there's a big moment thanks to Monticello's, Carlton Drive Stubbies and Canberra Low. $46 a case as the ball comes back into play. We're inside the Traralgon 50. Anderson. Oh, Hillier got slung down in a tackle, but he got his boot on it. Good work by Musil to gather it and go close as Jacobson just lost his footing. That was Traralgon's Jacobson in Michael. Heavily into the fence, but he's tough. He's got a surname like Jacobson.
They've still left Tim North off the back of the pack here more.
Again. Well, this time Musil hit it straight down to Collison, who gave it across to Forrest, gave it back now towards Jacobson. His kick goes high towards the pocket. In front spot there is Hearn. Can't mark, falls over the back. Suter tapped it towards the goals. Bit dangerous. Going through was Burge. Umpire says, my ball, let's ball it up.
And that's where if you're going to give up that free, and Hearn's going to be the free back from all, he needs to take that mark.
Ball up. This time it is Musil up against, it was Sandy. Quick kick out there from the Tigers defence. Finds touch and over. This time outside 50 as Chunkin and Lopez have a go at each other on the half-back flank. Ball comes back into play in a moment. 16 minutes gone. The margin 6 points. The Tigers are holding strong at the moment. They've been more efficient going forward. Musil got pushed under it. Lee Stockdale kicks it straight up and down the air. Collison grabs it. Handballs backwards. Working hard there was Hector close to the boundary line. This time Tim North just fumbled it. Gave up the handball to the Tigers, but Collison goes in again. Rosado tackles him strong.
Great play.
And again we have a stoppage. It's not pretty, but it's tough and it's strong.
It's tight in there, boys, isn't it? How good's these rivalries, boys, between
They're
these
good,
two?
aren't they? Regardless of where they are on the ladder.
So keep an eye on the setups as Michaelides just drops off the contest here, finds himself free. If they can get a quick kick out, he might get one free going forward. Tatterson puts his head over the ball. So does Noy. Crashes forward.
Good tackle,
equal to the task. It's Tim
Oh! We thought it was holding the ball, didn't we?
Yes.
The whistle went in the mouth. We thought he was holding the ball. Another ball up though. Musil down to Jacobson. This is James. Oh! The ball, are you kidding me? Unbelievable. That is the worst decision I've ever seen in football from a stoppage. It's a free kick to the Maroons though, as Stockdale goes in towards DeCirio. Brown spoils, ball in dispute. Suitors there, that was Devon. Head over it was Johnson. Working hard back the other way. Brown has it now. Quick kick was smothered. Noy got one over the shoulder. Bird put him in a tackle and the umpire will ball it up.
You should hear the crowd down here. They're going nuts with those decisions.
We can hear it. It's going both ways though. One against the Maroons, one against the Tigers. As Kennedy comes off again for another spell. Looks a bit proppy. Ball inside 50. Tigers leader by 6 point late in the last quarter. Devon Suter in traffic. Just squeezes a handball towards Rosado. He gets it out towards Salerno. Picking up though was Hildebrand. Burge twisting and turning on a Thrippins, kicks it high to the point of the square, inside, no one can get it. Musil has to just blaze away to relieve pressure as Pearce takes the uncontested mark and he squares it out towards Jackson Hall. He can go towards the top of the 50. Marsh, they did that well, the Maroons. Basketball it around.
What's a Thrippins, Scud?
It's an old coin, apparently.
Marsh looking, weighing up his options, goes to the hot spot. Salerno sets himself over the back, is Hearn. Comes at ground level, fighting for the ball is that Hillier? No, Noy. Puts his head over. So does Collison. So does Salerno. They're not holding back. Both teams. Comes to DeCirio. Under pressure. Finds White. White he is drilled from behind. Great pressure. Joel Suter. As a Maul player is down in that contest.
It could be Wilson down, but what a tackle.
Slow to get up. Joel Suter leading from
Anderson,
the front.
It was.
Zach Anderson. Bit proppy to get up. Suter goes wide, finds Hearn.
What a game.
Holding up play. We are just under 20 minutes into this final term.
Time on started now, boys.
Maul holds sway by the one goal. Contest out on the wing. No clear possession as McDonald gets it going forward. Michael Stockdale there. Misses a target. Pressure on.
Here's the man.
Handballs. Quick kick forward, just inside 50. Tatterson, 2-on-1, fumbles.
Forrest.
And Troy Forrest relieves the pressure for the Maroons and goes wide. Jacobson flies way too early. Gives away a free kick. And Musil will be the recipient. Just steady on, Dan. Just hold possession, son. He goes wide to the favours the boundary side and finds Jacobson, and they're just going to hold up play, take time off the clock.
No score for the last 11 minutes, boys.
Well, kicks it high towards his 50. Big pack, no one can mark. Ball down at ground level. Maroons have got the numbers, but the Tigers work hard. It's Johnson, just tries to tap it, keeping their feet with the Maroons. They can run out there. That was North.
Numbers.
Sweeps one handball over the top now to Stockdale. His kick had to find a target. It does. Lopez on centre wing. 21 minutes gone. Margin 6 points to the Tigers. Inboard to Stockdale. Now it goes to Tim North. He squares this one up out wide towards Ryan Burns on the wing. Takes him on. He swings around on that right foot. Gets it inside 50. Can there be a mark? Sandy, one hand. The big ruckman is front and square. Takes him on. Relieves pressure. Goes a handball and a Shepherd. Salerno now runs. Kicks it high. Britton's going to fly from Pearce. Take the mark though. Burns has it for the Maroons. Handball's inboard to North. Good handball over the top. The run comes from Amberg. Amberg's kicks a poor one. Suter, can't mark, fumbles it. Hits the feet, they crash in. Musil, great work by the Maroons from Hildebrand to wrap this one up and cause a stoppage. Centre half forward.
What a leap. Left foot they were out.
What about the leap from Hayden Britton?
That was huge, wasn't it?
And just hang there as well.
Again, 21 and a half minutes gone. Tigers lead it by 6 points. Queen's Birthday Clash does not disappoint again. Musil gave it across to Michaelides in the middle of the ground. Right foot kick inside 50. Holding. Taddison can't mark.
No.
Play on, said the umpire. Burns is there. Oh, good little side step. Handball's back to Hall. Hall goes out wide to Stockdale. And Stockdale chips it short. Finds Jackson McMahon.
Jackson McMahon, half-back flank. Handball's over the top. They got to go, and they got to go quick. North, pressure from Jacobson. Just gets a handball off to Tim. Tim goes back to Matt. Matt's followed up nicely. 80 metres out. Kicks it just in 50. Brown.
Jack
Brown. Built it off his man nicely. Read the play beautifully.
Big moment for Monticello's.
Done that
He
all
goes
day,
long
hasn't he?
down the line. He's got teammate out there. Tim North puts pressure on though. At ground level is Matt North. The North boys are working hard, trying to get Traralgon back into this. Great tackle over on a wing. And it goes out for a boundary throw in. Great pressure. Might have been Jacobson out there on a wing for the Tigers.
Springer at ground level. I want you to run a message out to the umpires. Have no impact on this game whatsoever.
Take their whistles off them.
It's almost like they're deciding who's going to win, isn't it?
Not at the moment. 22 and a half minutes gone. 6 point margin. Tigers win the stoppage. Rosado was there. Head over the football from Suter. Strong tackle. The umpire. Ball up again.
I'll tell you what's happened here. Both sides. Ball's defended for about 8 minutes in their back 50 then. Traralgon, whenever ball get it in their forward 50, Traralgon have rebounded really well. It's the back line that's going to count in this last little bit.
Big tap by Amberg. Got it straight down. That was picked off though. Jacobson kicked down the line. McDonald couldn't mark. Coming to help was Grinstein Jones. Oh, good work at pace by Madden Johnson. Handball was picked off though. Well done by Darren White. Over it goes. Boundary throw in attacking half forward flank for the Tigers.
Paul, how long have the quarter's gone for?
I was just looking at that. In the first quarter, we only went 25 and 26 minutes. We're coming up to the 23 and a half minute mark now. So 2.5 to 3 minutes maybe.
Only 2 goals have been scored in this last quarter as Traralgon go forward. Low press. Diving mark on the wing. Gets up quickly. Goes over the top. 2 on 1-on-1. Oh, Sandy.
Oh, Jack Brown again.
Handball. Punches the ball back in the hands of Jack Brown. He boots it straight up and under in the air. Goes into the corridor. North there for Traralgon. Amberg. No one can win clear possession. Yench does for Traralgon. Handball stored to Serio. Hildebrand rushes a kick forward. Jack Brown bounces over his head.
No, it doesn't. Oh, no.
He kicks the ball forward. It's ping pong here.
Oh,
As
great
Traralgon
spot.
go forward. Top of the 50. Hildebrand takes the mark. Too far out to score.
You'd think
Would
he's-
need to handball the ball off to a runner going
Hector.
past.
Look at the Hector in the middle.
Hector's there.
Still there.
Still there. Now Stockdale's there. McMahon's
McMahon.
there. Take your pick, but
Ball just got to get numbers
Hildebrand,
back.
this is the moment.
Jeez, you gotta
Thanks
kick
to
it now.
Monticello's. He's going to kick it from 51. He gets close to the man on the mark. It's going. Minor score, though.
Handy point,
It
Scud.
didn't make the difference. And on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, Paul Carter.
Traralgon moved to 6-12-48. They're trailing by 5 points. Maul 8-5-53. Coming up to the 25-minute mark of this final term.
What was your margin, Scott?
My margin was 12 points to the Tigers.
Oh,
They go short.
pressure.
Play on. It goes in the hands of Wetherill. Kicks it long and out. No one's there except for Traralgon. It's
You've got to
Pearce.
move it forward quick, don't you?
Pearce has it. Can't be long to go. Goes inside 50. Where's the mark for the
Sandy,
line? No one
no.
can mark. Over the back, McMahon's there.
Too
Strong
high.
tackle by Anderson. Oh, the umpire says my ball.
You should
Yes,
hear-
this umpire's called it.
There's what?
This
There's-
umpire from the middle of
there's
the
a free
ground
kick.
has called too high
No
from
way.
80 metres away.
You are kidding me, umpire.
You should hear the crowd down here, guys. They are going nuts.
Take the whistle out of your mouth. You don't need to impact this game of football. And they could well do this. Traralgon have got a shot on goal.
Jackson McMahon.
25 and a half minutes have gone.
Do you
The
back in
Tiger
here, boys?
supporters are gone 8 droppings. McMahon comes in. They trail by 5 points to possibly win the game. McMahon, he loves it.
He's
It is
kicked
straight
it.
through the middle. The Maroons are in front.
Oh.
It's a point to difference. 26 minutes have gone.
Grandstand's going off, Scud.
Absolutely gone berserk. Behind the goal, Scuzz Trade.
Oh, it's hard to know what to say here, Scud. It was, if it was there or not, I'm not sure, but the umpire would have been 40 metres off the play. He was a long way
and some.
off.
He was in the centre of the
There was another
ground.
one right beside him. Anyway, you said that you hope that they don't influence the game.
Well,
I'm hoping that,
one word he said
yeah,
is yes.
yeah.
And they did.
Yeah.
Well, Paul Carter.
1 point lead to Traralgon, 26 minutes into the final turn. 7:12.54. Maul 8:5.53 on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland.
Traralgon win the stoppage. They get it half forward. Brown comes out of the way, wins it, kicks it to half forward. Can the Tigers win this one? Suter's there, so is Hector. It's 2-on-1. Hector does well, falls to ground, dives on the football. The umpire says, my ball. 26 and a half minutes is their time.
I reckon they got one clearance and a kick forward. All that's left. They need to get it going forward quickly.
Up they go. Abbas put it straight down to Collison, the coach of Traralgon. His kick from the clearance goes out wide. It's going towards the boundary line. He had one thought in mind. It's deliberate. In board the Tigers to Wilson, half-back flank. Wilson come in board looking for Abbas.
It over the top.
It's over the back. They got numbers. Can they get it forward? It does. Suter's there. He's out on his legs. He can't win the football. Hector. Quick kick. Musil kicks it inside 50. Tigers need a mark. No one can mark.
He's played a free kick.
Oh, no. Can you believe it?
Kidding me?
Is this the square up?
This is another free kick inside 50. This is ridiculous. We have no idea how long to go. 27 minutes have gone. Hearn has a shot and to put the it's Hayden Britton.
Hayden Britton.
The man who has kicked 2 last quarter goals. He previously played at Traralgon. Can he snatch the lead back for the Tigers?
Or tie the scores.
Draw.
Or tie the scores. 1 point the margin. Britton comes in.
He's missed it.
He's missed it.
He's missed it.
Scores are level.
The crowd is on edge down here, boys.
It is amazing. Queen's birthday clash. This time last year, it was a 1 point margin in favour of the Tigers. It's currently scores level. Paul Carter, Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard. TRFM across Gippsland and the Valley.
Maul 8:6.54. Traralgon 7:12.54.
Paul, when we're doing our predictions, I reckon you ummed and ahed about saying draw.
Plays on quickly to himself, does Stockdale. Kicks it out wide, found a target. Oh! A draw. Queen's birthday classic. There it is. No one celebrates.
Overtime.
The Tigers and the Maroons.